They must be quiet.
I hope nobody's in here.
We must stop talking.
I hope nobody's in here.
He must have went to the bathroom.
like
everybody went to the bathroom.
All 10 of them went to that
bathroom. Calling out all my nerds, freaks, and geeks. It's mob time.
Don't tune in cause it's showtime. Go ahead and call the gang up for the one time. Rap, food, Ryun, got them on the line. And my life's still great, I'm doing just fine. Hands up.
What's up, y'all, and welcome to the Blerd Mob, your hub for all things black and nerdy. I am your host, Phoop, joined by my two co-hosts, Ryun and Ralph. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other streaming service, make sure you hit that follow button so you can get updates from the mob.
And if you young nerds and blerds watching us on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with a friend, and leave a comment and tell us what you thought about this episode.
All right. Today we are joined by a very special guest. We are joined by variety YouTuber known for gaming, reactions, skits, music, and more, AyChristene. Woo!
Hello. Oh my God! Ain't she famous? Oh my God!
Make sure you guys check out AyChristene's comment, her gaming channel at AyChristene Games, her reaction channel at AyChristene, and her podcast, PartyChat Podcast. And make sure you check out her website, artstein.com, a freelance directory for editors, artists, and graphic designers. So what's up, everybody? How we doing today?
Good.
When do you take a break, Christine?
When I sleep. Well, kind of.
Because I heard all of that. I said, hold on. That's like 5 different things. When did she get sleep?
I'm
Christine
working on
putting in that work.
Right. I work on global domination. That's what I tell people.
What cartoon was that from when the little thing go, world domination?
Invaders Zim.
World domination.
Love it.
Didn't they try to reboot that or something?
They did. It's on Netflix.
They did.
Isn't Invader the reboot on Netflix?
I think so. Because Netflix and
that went
Nickelodeon had like a whole deal where they were like producing a lot of Nickelodeon like cartoons and animations and shows on Netflix.
Wasn't that around the time when they had put like Avatar: The Last Airbender and Korra and iCarly and all that on Netflix?
I think so.
Was that around the same time?
I think so. It might be.
Okay.
Oh, I missed that then.
I didn't even know. I didn't know it went through. I thought that was just an idea or concept.
You know,
Yeah.
Netflix likes to slide something and then it'll be like, oh, wait, they don't like it. Bring it back.
Look, man.
Oh, man. But we are here to record episode 40, our season finale for season 4. It's great to have everybody here. We've been gone for a minute. So as you guys know, we got a lot of things to catch up on, a lot of things to talk about. But I do want to get into a conversation starter before we head into the main topic. It came out a couple days ago that a man in Spain has been arrested for faking heart attacks 20 times at restaurants to avoid paying the bill. 20 times?
I'm mad I ain't come up with it.
Wow.
Okay.
I
know how many...
mean,
Listen,
when is
them
a win?
high-end restaurants, Aria, Morton's, I'll be in all them little fancy $100 steak shops faking a heart attack.
They said he was ordering lobster, whiskey, like the high-end items. They get the bill and pass out.
Oh my
What's
goodness.
the tequila in the blue and white bottle that everybody, Cafe Azul or something? Ooh. I'm getting cups of that.
I need to do that with my eyesight. They bring out the bill. Baby, I thought this was a McDonald's. I can't see. I thought this was a McDonald's.
For me, it's the fact that he was able to successfully do it 20 times within a year is wild.
Like nobody
caught on.
Yeah. But he was doing it for $36. So 2 whiskeys and a paella was $36, and he's faking a heart attack.
Oh, that's a waste.
That's
a waste.
He didn't even do like the
Hey, you know who should have did that? Old girl in Atlanta with the 48
with the 48 oysters. 2 lemon drops.
So there was a girl had posted a TikTok video about how she went on a date at this well-known oyster spot called Fontaine's. So she records herself eating 48 oysters, drinking 3 lemon drops, and
slurping on it.
slurping on them.
You
And
really had to
still-
include that detail in there.
No, if you gotta watch the video, Christine. You gotta
Okay.
watch it.
Okay.
We're gonna sing you. We're gonna sing
Okay.
you the video,
Okay.
Christine, because it's awful.
Yeah.
And then, and on top of that, she still orders her an entree, which is 2 crab cakes and a side of potatoes.
And she seasoned them too, and they already look seasoned.
So the
She-
dude that she went on the date with tells her that he's going to the bathroom. He, in fact, leaves the restaurant, and she's stuck with the bill. That's who should have had a. I'm not mad that she ate 48 oysters because I'll get down. But
That's
you
some big
have,
back energy
but
right
you
there.
sitting, but you being on a date,
Right.
sitting across from somebody with your flash on, you recording yourself audibly slurping 48 oysters is criminal behavior.
But also, like,
Yeah.
if someone else is taking you on a date, I wouldn't. So for me, I wouldn't. If I was going on a first date, I'm married now, but I mean, if I was going on a first date, I wouldn't be like, "Hey, oh yeah," shout out
We
to Miss
love
Mary
it.
Y.
We love that.
I wouldn't like order like oysters, or I would stay within like a $20 or $30 range. I'm not ordering like a whole bunch of drinks and all that stuff. I feel like that's where she messed up. Because I mean, if somebody else is footing the bill and you don't really know them, like,
Yeah.
why would you do 48 oysters and 3 drinks and an entree? You doing the most.
She
The-
cut
Yeah.
up 48.
detail-
48?
The details was they was supposed to just get drinks. I guess she was hungry. Because she was real hungry.
She
And
was
so-
starving.
As soon
Hello?
as she broke the rules and started ordering oysters when we were supposed to get drinks, she was like, "Hold on, baby.
We
You
ain't
pay
talking
for
about-
them."
Yeah, we
We're
ain't
gonna have to,
talk
we're
about
gonna have,
that.
Yeah.
on the first round of oysters that come out, you paying for them, right?
Hey,
Before
bro.
the waiter goes away, I'd be like, hold on for a second. So you know that we were just gonna get drinks, right? Oh no, I want oysters. Okay, but you're gonna handle that, right?
But you're
we-
gonna pay
Yeah,
for that.
you're gonna get
before they
that.
go to put that order in, we need to address payment. I'm like, who's
Yeah.
paying
That-
for what?
But that ain't even the worst part. He didn't even get to eat none.
I swear,
She
I
over here
didn't,
recording.
I didn't see nothing on his side. He was just sitting there.
He had one drink and he didn't even finish it, like some white wine or something.
Like,
She
we
put
don't
that
know.
relationship in the ground just now because
Yeah.
for you to first, because there's many layers here, right? Because there's the layers that you guys mentioned, and then the layers I was talking about the ordering. We're here for drinks. You're ordering 48 oysters and drinks and an entree, and like you said, recording the whole thing. Like this
Mhm.
is.
With flash on.
I would just feel like you used me for your TikTok, and I'd be like, "You good? You got this, Bill. You
Nah,
got
for
this."
real.
And then
When that
deuces.
first round of oyster comes out and she picks up her phone and cuts on the flash, I'm out of there. It's just
I'm
like, you know
leaving.
what?
Yeah.
And he was nice. He said, I'll get you the money for my drink. He said, I'll cash app you my drink.
That's what he said?
Yeah, and he didn't even finish it. I was like, that's real. That's nice.
I don't fault
Can't
him.
be
Good
mad.
gentleman.
I don't fault him. If anybody's mad at him, like you got to look at both sides because I don't fault him. He paid for his and then left her because she did. That was her.
I don't know what to say. Like, how do you like handle that confrontation? Like, she just drowned 48 oysters. Like, this woman is a beast. Like, I don't know if I want to say, "Hey, I'm finna go."
I could just see myself like I ain't even mad at the oysters. I'm not mad at that. Maybe Shawty was just hungry, but me, I'm like, you ain't gonna give me none. Like I'm just sitting here.
Like, we don't know
if
You
he
gonna
didn't
offer
like-
none?
It's like we don't know if he didn't like oysters or if she didn't even offer to share. Because
That's
you
also
put
true.
12 oysters in front of me, and I'm at least getting 6. I'm at least
Yeah.
getting half.
But oysters, I will say,
No.
oysters are an acquired thing. So maybe let's give her benefit of the doubt. Let's say she offered it to him, right? But
Okay.
still, this
But-
was your order, and I don't like oysters. I don't like it. I drank my drink, the thing I like, so I paid for that. That's what we agreed on.
But here's the only alternative to that, though, Christine. From what I saw, he asked her on the date, and he was the one who chose the oyster bar. She was like, "Oh, this is fancy. I'm gonna make some content with this." So he gotta at least tolerate the smell of oysters or something. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like you didn't have to go
I
there.
get you. Yeah, I mean, why
He could have been like, "Let's go to a random bar."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so
He
him.
could've
So
changed.
then maybe it is a situation where she didn't offer.
was-
then maybe
She was
didn't
probably
offer.
scared to ask for some.
She was devouring the
She was
thing.
probably over the sweat. Yeah.
Maybe he was waiting
No.
for her to offer. Sometimes people
That-
be passive
that
like
could've
that.
been. that could have been it too. And then by the time she got to like 6 in like 2 minutes, he was like, "Dang, I'm scared to ask her for one."
Look, the hot sauce bottle was also almost empty at the end of the video. She was going in.
See, that's so crazy. It's that whole situation. Like I had to stop I had to pause mid video when I heard her slurp that oyster. I was like, "You didn't have to."
I gotta
do that.
see this video. I gotta see this video.
We gonna send you the video, Christine, because it's insane. How she said,
bro.
This is audacious.
And the
Bombastic
waitress
side eye.
Bombastic side eye.
Yeah.
and the waiter or waitress or whoever they had, they weren't even coming to like get the trays after she finished each dozen. So you could see her stacking up these trays of oysters in the corner. And
48. My thing is, she went OD. 48 oysters? Like we're doing too much. We are doing too much.
Why do you need that many oysters?
I
don't. Oh, okay. Let me wait.
If I could interject.
If the oysters were my entree, I could understand. But she got a whole entree. Right. And then her potatoes, they already look greased and seasoned, Christine. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. They look good. She had a whole bunch of look like large seasoning salt, some melted butter or oil on top. And that's just some big bag energy.
At that point, I agree. She was being greedy. Because by the time you drink 3 lemon drops and eat 48 oysters, you shouldn't want nothing else.
Right, 48. I'm like, I don't think I could eat 48 oysters, and I'm I'm round. Okay, I'm very round. Yeah. 48 oysters and drinks.
We round up here.
Yeah, there's a lot of roundness here, but like
we good here.
For real.
Yeah.
I think it just depends on how you eat them, though, because I know a lot of people they do the oyster, put it on the cracker, the hot sauce, the sauerkraut, and stuff. So when you eating the crackers and the oysters, then yeah, doing that 48 times is a little bit too much. But if you eat them just right out the shell.
That doesn't sound real, bro.
You doing that 48 times, that's a lot. But like if you just eating them straight out the shell, like let me tell you something. Like
no, so
I don't know.
I agree with Ryan. Like if that was all she was doing, like if in and of itself, we're taking out the fact that she just assumed he was going to pay for 48 oysters when they agreed for drinks. Let's remove that for a second. But like if you were just eating that, then yes, okay, that I can see someone. You're out for drinks and you're eating 48 oysters. Okay, but potatoes are very filling, and I don't know how after 48 oysters you can also order crab cakes and potatoes.
Man, that's bread on top of potatoes.
She was being greedy. She was being so
she was
greedy.
Hungry.
And thought all boy was finna pay for it. He was like, "Let me show you something."
So what was her reaction when he left? When he didn't come back?
I'm glad I keep some money on me and tipped the waiter like it looked like she only gave like $13, but she wrote 10 on the receipt.
She gave her $15 in tip. I think the bill was like 200 something, and she gave the her waiter or her waitress $15.
That's not even 10%.
Oh, she was using him.
That's not even 10%. So you was expecting. Hold on now. Okay, listen.
She was using him.
Hello.
She was using him.
You were we agreed to drinks. Okay, at max, we think about $50 at max. Okay, when it comes to drinks, $50 for drinks is wild, but at max, we're doing $50, maybe $75 for drinks. And you was gonna creating a bill of over $200 and expecting me to pay for it? No.
Look, bro.
She was paying for them oysters.
And didn't share.
Fooling with me, you ate 48 oysters and didn't give me none? Yeah, I'm glad you do keep money on you.
So wait, did he wait for her to finish and then was like, I'm going to go to the bathroom?
No.
When did he leave? When did he go to the bathroom?
I think he left when she got her
entree.
I think
like right when the entree came, he ran to the restaurant.
He went to the bathroom.
When she was serious about getting an entree, he's like, I'm out. I can't do no more.
Just too much.
He was he trying to text his friends like, bro, call me and say it's an emergency.
Hello, something.
Look, but here's the thing. Let's just be real though. She had to devour that entree and then was like, oh wow, he ain't come back from the bathroom yet. These potatoes was good.
So wait, what did she realize after she finished her food?
I thought it was when the bill came. That
was after she finished her food. Yeah, that means after she ate her food, rubbed her stomach.
Waited till they go. They like, the bill. They go in their computer.
Drink a glass of water to wash it down.
And then come back with, hey, here's the bill, and then give her the booklet. So that's time. That takes time.
Ain't no way she thought he was in the bathroom that whole time.
There's no
Bro.
way.
Bro.
I gotta see these comments. I hope people are not eating them up. You know, sometimes people could be unfair on the internet and not use understanding or compassion. Because if it were me, I wouldn't be paying for it. I'd be like, "You got this." Because
I wouldn't.
He justified.
He is 100%.
He justified.
100%. All he did was leave. He didn't curse her out or nothing. He paid her his drink and left. Yeah, he good.
And he didn't even
That's all
drink
he
his
had to
drink.
do.
Yeah.
Christine, the cup's still full on his end, so he probably got like 2 sips and just sitting here like, wow.
Yeah, he was
Watching her.
overwhelmed. He was overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. And I didn't even see this video. Yeah.
Christine, we're gonna send you this video, and when you see those oyster plates stacked on top of each other, it's insane.
This
Like y'all
sounds
didn't
like
even
a TV show. Like, what is
like y'all didn't even come by to like clean up the table. Like
They
she
were
just
probably
stacking
in
them on
shock,
stacking
too.
them on stacking them.
Mm.
And the wildest thing about it is that she finally got the 48 and was like, "Let me chill out." Like you didn't think to chill out after.
Bro,
She was gonna keep going.
even if I was that hungry, I would stop eating out of shame after the second dozen. Like after 24, I'm like, I don't want to. I'm on a date.
I don't know if I would do
let
a
me
second
eat like that.
dozen. Like that's the thing. Like I feel like if I was on a date type of situation where I'm not expecting to pay the bill, I wouldn't, unless I'm like, hey, I got this, and then proceed, because then you can't tell me nothing. I told you I'm doing this. But if the expectation is that you're gonna pay, I'm not doing a second dozen. I'm just doing maybe one.
Look,
If I was
And
hungry.
I'm gonna at least offer you. Me, I would probably ask like, "Hey, I'm thinking about getting some oysters.
Right.
Do you eat oysters? Do
Right.
you want to share?"
Right.
So
Man.
maybe she did, and he was like, "Nah," and then she proceeded to order 48. But if she didn't, I feel like maybe y'all should have had that conversation before the first dozen came out.
She was clearly, if her response was, "Well, at least I keep some cash on me," she was expecting him to pay. She was expecting him to pay, but she had backup just in case. Because this tells me this ain't the first time she done did this, bruh. This ain't the first time.
She is
That's why
swindling.
she knew to have
She
cash
the oyster
on her.
swindler.
Yeah,
she the oyster
I think she's
swindler.
done it to
Swindler.
friends before, and they probably was like, "Nah, bruh, you got this." So I think she knows what she's doing.
But we gotta acknowledge the elephant in the room. They had to be delicious. Them oysters had to be.
They was on
If they
special.
weren't, then that's
Yeah.
sad. They
They
had to be.
had
What I
Yes.
was
fresh
saying,
out the ocean.
what I was saying in response to this video, that's the best spot in Atlanta to get oysters from.
Okay,
I want to go now.
I do too.
They said
I
the
wanna
line.
see
They
it.
said the line out the door now because Shorty made that TikTok video. The line is out the door.
Well, hey, you know what?
She
Hey,
made a
that's
money
big.
back.
Well,
That's
There you
advertising.
go.
well, we don't know if she got any piece of that.
She ain't getting no
probably,
money
she
back.
probably ain't got no contract or nothing.
No,
Yeah.
and then TikTok, it's not, she probably didn't make no money off of it, but the business made money. So there's a plus
Yeah.
for somebody in this. I mean, she don't got no date, the relationship's over, but she got a full belly of oysters, and the company's doing well now.
Hey, they
She
about to
should join
start
the
putting a
marketing
limit.
team.
They probably finna put a limit on how many dozen of oysters that you can eat. Because somebody,
Yeah.
she must have ate 48, but it's probably some people who can eat them at a whole house of oysters. They gonna be like, "Nah, you get 4 dozen and you gotta get out."
Well,
They
if they're
might
raise
get
the
3
price.
dozen
200,
and
let
you gotta get out.
them, actually, they should keep selling out at least until, because it's going to be good for marketing. It's kind of like a Keith Lee situation here.
Yeah.
Look, home of 48 oysters. That's gonna be their slogan.
Home of
48 oysters, yeah.
Hey, they finna start making a bigger tray. The Atlanta girl special. You get this big tray of 48 oysters.
Oh, the Atlanta girl. And then on the receipt, it says tip is automatically, if you do 48, we are automatically including gratuity.
Gratuity.
Yes.
It's automatic.
Automatic.
Oh man,
$15.
Look, bro, that's 48.
that's
a lot of oysters, man.
Gotta
Hey,
be delicious.
I
Them
would be
folks in-
I'm not going to lie. If I was paying for myself to eat, I would never, $200 for myself? If it was like a crowd of people, I can justify that mentally. But for myself, $200, I would be
you
like,
cut up.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
this is a bit much.
You cut a
What
hole
is the
in
most
floor.
y'all? What is the most y'all spent on y'all self eating out? Because I don't think I've ever went past like 110, and that's like rare, like
I would say the
birthday
same.
behavior.
I would say the same. 110.
I'd say about 100.
On myself, not including Uber Eats, because they jack up prices on Uber Eats. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
for myself, I'm gonna say maybe $50. maybe $50. Like,
No, I feel bad.
no, don't. But I mean, because I feel like it all depends on where you're eating, also where you live, and what you're doing. But like, I've never eaten at a place where I was footing the bill for like $200 for myself.
Beth,
Yeah.
the cow better talk to me before I eat it.
At a certain point, you gotta chill out.
You gotta stop.
Yeah.
At a certain point, you have to chill out. But so let's get into these topics. So we got a couple entertainment topics. I want to start with the first one. We're going straight to Invincible. So we got a new trailer for season 2, and we got the trailer for the Omni-Man DLC for Mortal Kombat 1. So how did you guys feel about both of those?
So I saw the new trailer and for season 2. And I like the trailer. I'm excited for the show. I mean, I loved it was a great surprise. It was just a great surprise. We didn't expect it. I do feel like they didn't write the girlfriend well. Like, I feel like they didn't know what to do with her. And I see she's in this season as well. So I hope that they write her better. But I like the whole, I feel bad for the boy, right? Like, especially the line where the mom was like, the last X amount of years have been a complete lie. Because I remember his line, didn't he say like, oh, do you play with your toys or play with your food or something like that? Like saying that she was a pet. I believe he called her a pet.
Yeah, he called her a pet.
Yeah. And I can't imagine having a life with someone, raising a son to where they're in high school, right? He was in high school. And then finding out that your husband is a maniacal alien that was just here to destroy the planet and called you his pet.
That made me almost tear up when I saw it the first time. I was like, whoa, now. I couldn't. But did it give like multi-dimensional vibes when they showed the dude who had like 3 portals and he was like, I can go different places? I was like, is there going to be a second Mark? And that's why we see all these folks fighting him and he's all beat up. And maybe it's like, and then they showed the person transforming too. I was like, are people just going to get this Mark confused with like a copycat Mark?
Yeah,
that's what I was getting from it.
Because what he said at the end, he was like, people of Earth, the longer you resist, the worse this gets. And don't forget, I'm invincible. I was like, Mark.
Oh, yeah, and they cut.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, that got to be a clone.
Yeah, that's got to be.
Invincible. Yeah.
I was like, Mark. Because through the whole trailer, it's kind of like how he's trying to separate himself, like, because he's half filter Mike. So he's like, how do I stop myself from becoming like my dad, becoming like Omni-Man? And then for us to get to that part at the end, I was like, it sounds like you didn't do a good job.
Right.
Yeah, I'm withholding judgment. I'm gonna wait to see what they do. But yeah, I'm interested in this new season. I like my only concern is how are they gonna write the girlfriend again? Because I think everything else is gonna be fire.
Yeah. Was she meant to be annoying? Because like I think all of the season 1 fans were annoyed with how she acted. Like basically, like our off-camera conversation with Mary Jane and Spider-Man. Now everybody was annoyed with her.
I feel
like
like
was she meant to be annoying?
There's a lack of ability on whether it's source material correct or what have you. There's like a lack of an ability to write a proper girlfriend when you have a superhero character that they are dating. And I don't understand where's the drop off? Where's the problem? Is it the inability to write for this person, or you didn't do enough research, or you don't really put your feet in that position, or what have you? But it was stupid that she was always like getting on him for being late, and it turns out she knew who he was. That makes no sense. You like legit canceled out her argument, because why is she getting upset that he's always late if she knows that he's doing all this stuff and he's saving the world? It makes no sense.
Like, if anything, she'll get upset that he's endangering his life or something. I don't even think that came up.
Not
like,
at all.
Are you safe? Are you okay? Are you going to therapy? Like, none of that came up. Not she worried about her. Oh, you late for our oyster date. Like, come on now.
Oh, not late for the oyster date. You out there fighting your dad. Where's my super suit? Why do you need to know?
I feel like their relationship was better, okay? I feel like
that was on par.
Yeah. But I agree with you. Ralph? Like, it could have been that simple. It could have been that simple of saying, like, hey, care, taking that part.
Yeah. Exactly.
I still gotta finish season 1. I'm halfway through it, but I did watch the trailer.
He kills me every
Don't
time.
do that.
You kill me
Please.
every time. Every time
I've
we
been
step up
watching
in here.
everything.
It was the pause
else.
before
I'm
you said
sorry.
it. You were like, I gotta finish season 1. I was like, oh, okay.
I'm
Ralph don't
sorry.
finish nothing on time.
It's a lot of shows that I have been watching.
Hey, Ralph, you don't have a lot of time.
I know.
You're gonna have to sit down and finish
Next
that
month,
out.
right?
Yeah, November 3rd.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's already too many video games coming out, so you got to multitask.
You better lock
I just
that.
gotta clone myself. That's all it has to be.
You need
but
to lock yourself in that room and get to it.
Right. Lose some sleep. You'll be all right.
Oh,
Not
dear.
lose some sleep.
no, I'm not losing sleep. But I did watch the season 2 trailer. It looked pretty good. I like the fact that they're introducing more characters, and from what the director has already said, they're going to be throwing in a little bit more stuff into it. So, from what I saw, Mark's mother's going through it.
As she
yeah.
should.
I feel very bad for her. I, like Ryan said, I almost teared up because that was like, dang, she is getting treated like absolute dirt.
Yo, this whole season is basically just dealing with the aftermath of season 1, and like Omni-Man is nowhere to be found.
No,
Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And
we still got that one-eyed
at
alien.
some point.
Oh yeah, Seth
Old buddy
Rogen's
in
character.
space who's like, we supposed to be protecting folks and everything. We still got to figure out how that dynamic going to work.
Man, I'm excited, definitely. But that Omni-Man trailer for Mortal Kombat 1?
They got my train scene.
That
That's
train
all I wanted.
fatality?
That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted.
I didn't
That
see it, but I
one-
heard, and it was painful. That's painful.
That wasn't
They
even
did
the
it right.
worst. That wasn't
They
even the
did.
worst one to watch. The worst one is when he did the head grab on Liu Kang,
And the eyes start
and
turning
the eyes
purple.
start coming out of his head. I was like, whoa. And I don't know. It looks like he has 3 fatalities because there's the one from season 1 where he's like beating them down in the ground like how he did Mark. Is that a
That was his
fatality?
X-ray. That was his X-ray
Oh,
type.
so that's
I don't
a
know if they
fatal-
call it X-rays anymore. Yeah, fatal blow.
That's his fatal blow.
Yeah,
So his
'cause it
fatality must be the train and the
train
eyes
and
coming out of his
the
head.
And the eyes, yeah.
You're not a
my
Mortal
heart.
Kombat person.
My heart. No, it's
no.
visceral, and I do play the game. It's visceral. They just keep getting more and more visceral. But my heart, like in that first season, that fight of just like what you're putting your son through is just, my heart.
But they paid homage to the first night when the fast dude was like trying to punch him when he squeezed his face. I was like, ooh, that's nice.
I think
nice.
this was definitely a good choice to kick off the DLC characters with, because now I just want to know what they are gonna do with everybody else when Homelander steps in. Now that's a sick man.
Yeah,
that's a sick man.
I haven't finished Boys. I've only seen like a couple episodes of the first season.
That's a
I have
sick
to dive
man.
into that.
It's a good show. It's a good show.
That one you finished? You finished that one, Ralph?
Yes.
Okay.
You finished that one. That's how you know when he likes something. He actually finished. Okay. It must be fire.
It looks like a new cameo character is also coming with the Omni-Man DLC. This character is called Trimmer. So in the trailers, he has like this scorpion fit on, but it kind of just looks like he has like rock powers because he dissolves his rocks, and then when he punches, his arm was like, man, because I was looking in the background because I was like, who's his cameo? And I thought they would have just chose from like the cameos we already had, but then it was this guy with like rock arms and stuff, and I was like, okay, who's this? So new
Is that
cameo
an old MK character?
I don't know.
I mean, you know, they did have different versions and variants.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if it's not.
Because I'm almost like, you know, for it to be a DLC, I'm gonna start the cameo character to be like Mark or somebody on some more stuff.
Now that's so crazy to give your cameo character PTSD with your fatal blow,
like, as you're doing it to somebody else. Like, I went through that. Like that's.
Hey.
Or at least another Viltrumite, like because they put him out.
Too.
They put him out first because this is the 20th year anniversary of Invincible, so something cool they could have did. Like I'm not mad at the cameo that they put in there, but if we were going to get like more Viltrumites in season 2, they easily could have made one of them a cameo.
Yeah,
it's fire though.
I like it.
I'm excited.
now I understand why all those companies said no to add their characters to this game.
Because they're cutting up.
Yeah, they cutting up big
They're
time.
cutting up.
Man.
Like I know they're not going to put any DC characters as DLC.
Imagine Superman getting done like that by Omni-Man.
Well, that was the thing
Injustice.
with Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. Like they wouldn't let you do fatalities on the DC characters.
Mm-hmm.
But they had
Which
Injustice,
is-
and Injustice was very. I mean, it wasn't Mortal Kombat, but it was pretty intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You couldn't pop nobody eyeballs out their skull though.
They gotta make
Good reason.
So I don't know if they ever do a Mortal Kombat versus Injustice. I'm copying it. You don't even have to tell me who's
It's
on
automatic.
the roster. I'm getting it.
Deluxe edition of that.
Like that's a long awaited game that I want to see. Like
I feel like we're years down the line from that, but
we've been talking about that for like a year or two now. Like we can find old episodes where we was like, that's what needs to be the next Mortal Kombat NetherRealm game.
and then they put Mortal Kombat 1, which I'm not mad about, but I kind of want to see what they had planned for Injustice 3 since Mortal Kombat 1 was supposed to be Injustice 3. I do want to see what they had in mind because I've read the comic book storyline for the first Injustice as well as Injustice 2, and there is no like Injustice 3 unless they're splitting up or they're adding more to it or something. And I was like, I don't know if it makes sense to make an Injustice 3, but all right. So we got some Netflix updates. We got some pictures, some live action stills of the Fire Nation from the Avatar The Last Bender live action series that's coming in 2024. We got a teaser trailer for the Yu Yu Hakusho live action adaptation coming to Netflix on December 14th. Oh yeah, and that's it. We only had those two things. How did you guys feel about that?
So for the pictures of Fire Nation, I didn't want to spoil myself yet. I want to take, because the original character photos, when they showed each of them and their respective nation gear, I was like, okay, I'm looking forward to this. I still want to see how it's going to be executed. And I just want to fully dive in, because I would be nervous if I see something and they like F it up, and then it'll, tilt my perspective when I dive into the show itself, because Avatar is fire and I'm nervous.
Well,
about
these
this live
Fire
action.
Nation pictures, 2 words, damn good.
Really?
I did that backwards. Damn good.
Yeah.
They were actually the best one for me. Like Iroh was just completely
Iroh and Ozai?
Like
Iroh and Ozai?
100% like match and match.
Yes. You get another still of Zuko, you get Azula, you get Iroh, you get General Shao.
Yeah, General Zhao.
I thought it was
Zhao.
Zhao.
I'm saying General Shao like we playing Mortal Kombat 1. General Zhao and Ozai. And Ozai and Iroh look damn good.
Perfect.
Oh, I'm excited. Iroh's my favorite. Uncle Iroh.
He looked great.
I just need to see a trailer. I'm with Christine. Like, I just need to see the show. Like, they're showing all of these pictures, and they gave us that little teaser a couple months back. But like, I need to like see the show. Like, because I would hate for this to be another Rings of Power situation where the cinematography and the costuming is like top tier, and the writing in the show is ass garbage.
Is that show not good? I've been. It's on my radar of something that I want to watch. Rings of Power.
It's not.
Oh dear.
Okay. This is audio platform too. No, I'm shaking my head. No.
The cinematography is top tier, but the
looks
writing,
amazing.
But the writing and the progression in the show was ass.
That's kind of how I felt about the first season of that show. It's on Netflix. The one where the guy has powers, and then the girl also had powers, and there was like this dark.
The Witcher.
Not The Witcher, the other one that had like another, and they had a season 2, like I think last year or the year before. I have to remember the name of it, but it was like I think it's one of those stories that are based off of a book, and
not Wheel of Time from Amazon.
No.
She said it's on Netflix.
On Netflix.
Oh.
I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it was like the guy. It's like one of those books to movies type of situations, but book to TV show. And there was like these teams of people that had they were calling their magic yielder something different than, you know, witches and wizards or whatever. And it had the guy, he's like in a commercial for like, I gotta remember. I'm gonna look it up while I'm talking to you guys, and I'll. But I just felt like that it had that same type of vibe.
The only thing about Avatar is like, I can't say I don't trust Netflix. I feel like Netflix is like neutral. Either they're gonna do a good job or they're gonna mess it up. The casting look good, but I want one good trailer. I want one solid trailer to show me what y'all plan on doing.
I just need one.
Yeah.
I just need one. They got the Netflix event coming next month. Avatar: The Last Airbender is on the list of things that they're supposed to be showcasing. So I wonder if that's going to be the event that we get an official trailer.
I found it, Shadow and Bone. That's the Shadow and Bone.
That was actually one of my guesses.
Yeah,
they had a movie way back in the day where the dude was tatted or whatever. That was actually pretty good.
I feel like it's one of those things. I feel like cinematography looked good, acting was good, but I feel like writing was just like again another female character that I'm like, I don't feel like they wrote you well.
I just need to see a trailer. Everybody's been on the edge because the original writers of Avatar: The Last Airbender left. And so, like, everything looks good. They're saying that the guy who they have running the show now is a big Avatar fan, and he's, like, really paying attention to detail and stuff like that. And I was like, that's all great. Words and pictures are great. But I need a video. I need to
hear some acting skills.
Yeah, I need to see it.
I need to get it all.
What you was gonna say, Ryan?
They disappointed me with that Yu Yu Hakusho trailer because I don't want.
Let me say this. Y'all couldn't wait for One Piece to get to season 2 before y'all drop another anime adaptation. Like,
that's my thing.
I really like anime adaptation.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if they're on the One Piece train. I don't know if they like, because, you know, this stuff takes planning. I don't know if, like, for the past year, they already said, oh, let's pick, like, 5 animes we're going to make live actions, and One Piece just set the charge. Because I'm like, no, bro. Plus Yu Yu Hakusho's old enough to where, why didn't we just get a reanimation? Like,
well, they're doing
modern
that too.
graphic.
Yeah.
They should have stuck with just that. Nobody asked for Yu Yu Hakusho live action. Nobody. One Piece was not... One thing that I saw, because the side note on this is like when that came out, Dan Disney was talking about making live actions of Frozen, Tarzan, and Tangled, and some fans are like, "Why are we doing this? Because these movies aren't nostalgic enough for you guys to make live actions." So with you saying Yu Yu Hakusho being old, I was like, if we're going off of that reasoning, then sure, make a live action, but. I don't know, man.
I do feel like it is kind of like what you're saying, Ryan. I feel like they might have had a list of anime that they wanted to do live act. Because, I mean, it's not anything new. They did Death Note. They've done Full Metal Alchemist. They have that on there. They've got like a few that they've done. And I think it's just been a list of things that they were doing. I do feel like One Piece might have been something they were working on for a long time, but the fans are rabid, you know? So the with the discourse of like, okay, trying to make sure it's going, I think it was something they had cooking while they had another pot cooking. And then now they're coming out with the timing really has nothing to do with, you know, One Piece. So now let's drop another one. I think they might have been working on it all simultaneously. Just One Piece was able to come out when it was. The whole thing with Disney and these live actions, like it pisses me off, honestly.
It makes me sick.
Because Disney has been doing this thing, right, where they instead of telling new stories, they're like, hey, let's do live action of stories we've done. And we've got a Moana coming out. Moana is like came out while my baby was, because my daughter's 5. So within the last 5 or 6 years, right? So Moana, there's no need for a live action Moana. There's no need for a live action Frozen. Tarzan, maybe, right? But it's been done. It's been done and done and done. Brendan Fraser had a Tarzan, I believe, or something close to it or whatever.
Jungle Book, all of that was around that same time period.
Lion King, they've done the live action, which that's been some time. I get you, but Little Mermaid, it's been some time. I can give you some of those, but the Beauty and the Beast, there's so many live action Beauty and the Beast. There's so many live Cinderellas. There's so many live versions of what was it? What was the first one that I was saying?
They're doing. You said Lion King.
Lion King, yeah. They're like, my thing is, tell new stories. You have a whole
Yes.
continent of Black stories you can like. There's South African lore. There's African lore. And they had that whole, you know what, the Star Wars thing that they did where they hired a bunch of animation companies
Visions.
Visions. So then they had a African version of that they did where they got a lot of African artists to get together and create animations. They didn't market it. Their social media didn't post anything about it. They're only South African Disney posted about it. But it's like, instead of leaning into the money of, hey, new stories, let's pay these, because I mean, a lot of the animations were fire. Let's pay these people to tell new stories. Let's dive into that lore. We've done the whole Brothers Grimm lore forever, like Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, all this stuff. We've done it. Let's not do live action. Let's go to new stories. Stop these remakes. Go to new stories.
I definitely
That makes too
agree.
much sense. That makes too much sense.
I
It's too
definitely
diverse.
agree because
Too
they
brown.
didn't promote Elemental or that new Wish movies that's coming out. Like, you're barely seeing any marketing for those. And those are original stories that Disney has coming out.
Elemental was actually pretty good.
I heard Elemental was fire.
Yeah, I need to see it. I need to see it. No pun intended.
No pun intended. But I heard Elemental was really good, but they barely promoted it. And they're barely promoting this Wish movie that's coming out. But like, all the money that they put into The Little Mermaid, all the money that they put into like Cinderella, Mulan, Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, I forgot they did Mulan. Yeah.
The whole thing though is like, Christine hit the nail on the head. They keep on trying to go the safe route, but the safe route ain't been working for the past 5 years. It ain't been working.
The only good
live action. Yeah, which one did you guys like?
I only like the ones that were focused on the villains. Cruella was damn good. And Maleficent.
Oh, okay.
Those are the only two I like. But like, Lion King was kind of like, okay, Beyonce's in it. Then Beauty and the Beast was like, okay, we really want Emma Watson to start singing. Okay.
Aladdin felt awkward.
Aladdin had a music video in the middle of it, and I was just like, okay, y'all.
Okay, because I'm like, is this in her head? Are we doing this? Is this?
We went through this whole 2-3 minute sequence just to find out that this was a music video, and I was like, y'all gotta be shitting me right now.
Crazy.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, y'all need to be creative. Y'all need new animated stories and just make a new live action story. Because as an anime fan, some stuff just doesn't translate well.
Right.
Some stuff doesn't translate from book to show to anime, and some stuff don't translate from anime to live action. Just create something new. There are so many stories. We tackle Greek mythology over and over again. We go through European pre-Renaissance and all that stuff over and over again. There's so many Latin American stories, African stories, even some Australian stories. There's some Asian stories. Try something new. Try something new.
I just think they need some better people in the room. Because even if we want to talk about like stories like Mulan, they're supposed to be doing like a live action Hercules. I don't know where that Lilo and Stitch live action is, but they're supposed to be doing that too.
Yeah.
But like the ones that are based on like certain cultures, it's like when you really look back and look at the movie, it was kind of like, y'all are making some of this stuff up. Like, this isn't like accurate to that culture. So then it's kind of like, are you making the live action to like correct your mistakes, or can you just make a new story and then just fix it? You know?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, do something new. I'm sick of all these remasters and reboots.
Go black. Stop being whack.
Yeah.
I
like it.
I swear, bro, when you study mythologies, bro, and I ain't trying to be like a history nerd, but like, people only hear about Egyptian mythology, Anubis, and Ra. There are so many deep dives that you can go into different African cultures and different stories that will be just as good, if not better, than Greek mythology, bro.
I would love to hear a Disney Raw, or like a Disney
anything.
Yeah, like any of the, even if you're going to go to Egyptian and go to the more well-known. Like, I think of Prince of Egypt. You say that, and I think of, and I get chills. Prince of Egypt is such an amazing movie, and I'm like, you can dive into the even the surface. If you want to go on the surface, just go to a different continent. We're done telling white stories, and I'm just gonna say that we're done with it. We've done it. You've done it again.
We've heard them all.
You've done it in this medium. You've done it in that medium. There are a bunch of other continents that have a bunch of lore and different stories and different mythologies. Let's just dive into that. Since you want to, instead you don't creating new stories, go ahead, dive into other histories. Do that then.
Exactly.
I agree.
So much out there.
A variety.
I definitely agree. Make something else.
Jeez.
Look,
But speaking of Disney, let's go into the MCU. We got a couple updates. We got some movie/TV show updates. We said this on a previous episode that due to the schedule shifts, due to the actors and writers strike, Ironheart had been removed from the MCU schedule. It has now been re-added for September 3rd, 2025.
Okay.
Deadpool 3 and Captain America 4 have switched places. So Deadpool 3 was supposed to release May 3rd, 2024. It's been delayed due to the actors strike, and Marvel is pushing forward with Captain America 4 to release on that date, and then Deadpool 3 will come afterwards.
I wonder why the switch.
I think I saw something, they said that Captain America 4 was farther along than Deadpool
Yeah.
3.
Okay.
So they're just putting it in that slot
Use
just
what
so
you
they
got.
can have
I got you.
just so they can have something for 2024, because I know they have some TV shows coming out, but other than Deadpool 3, I don't remember any other MCU movies that were supposed to be dropping in 2024.
Deadpool was the only thing in the lineup I wanted to see.
I'm really interested in how they're going to do Captain America 4,
Yeah.
and not because of like what happened in Winter Soldier or whatever. They're supposed to be introducing Red Hulk, which is supposed to be
Who recently
Harrison
passed
Ford.
away.
Right.
Yeah.
So now Ross's character has been replaced. Well, Harrison Ford is now playing Ross, and they're supposed to be introducing Red Hulk. They're supposed to be bringing back the actress from the 2008 Incredible Hulk that played Betty Ross. And I wonder if they're going to make her Red She-Hulk. So then we'll have Hulk,
Hmm.
She-Hulk.
Is it Liv
Red
Tyler?
Hulk.
Was that what it was?
Is that her name?
From the
That's
movie?
what's-
The Edward Norton one?
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was Liv Tyler.
Don't be weird, computer. Give me the goods. Yep, Liv Tyler. She's supposed to be coming back in Captain America 4.
Okay. If it's one of those Captain America movies where it's like the focus is all the other characters, I might be interested, but I just don't care for Captain America.
I hate they changed the name. They changed it from New World Order to like Brave New World. And I was like, New World Order
Yeah.
gave like that Illuminati vibe.
Yeah,
Like,
it
what's
was cool.
next?
For me, I have mixed feelings about this because the shows, if they had not done the show or if they at least had the Russo brothers involved in the show, I think it would have been better. But a lot of the shows that came out on Disney Plus really dimmed the light that the word MCU had brought to my heart. And it's like when you got off the
That's a
high
spot
of
on, Ray.
Endgame and Infinity War and where we went, and that was the climax, and everything after that has just been very like limp noodle. It's like you can't. It's not interesting.
Sure.
I would agree.
I was saying for the longest they should have did a break because we saw the big bad. We need time to honestly just forget about it. We need time to let it go, let it sink in, build some nostalgia. They should have took like a full like 5+ year break and give us nothing.
And then kind of like start over.
I know they. Yeah, because like y'all trying to do this soft reboot basically, like with all the new heroes of the series. And I'm not the biggest comic book nerd anyway, but I see even my comic book nerd homies who are like, we kind of tired of it.
I think it's just, and this can go into the next topic that I have for the MCU. So the MCU is stepping away from the limited series format. They're hiring actual.
Thank God.
They're hiring actual showrunners because reading the article that I had, it was that they were using film executives to produce the movies in the shows. They weren't doing like pilot episodes. It was like they were filming and producing like the whole series and just shipping it out. So the changes that they're making is that they're planning to hire showrunners. Showrunners will write pilots and show bibles. They're going to follow
Do you have
traditional.
a clap button you can press? Like a.
Do we got a soundboard?
We can be the clap button.
Like the way that I feel heard. I finally feel heard. Okay.
Yes.
But reading this, I was like, they're finally fixing the problem that I've had with the TV series. Like after Loki and WandaVision, it was kind of like they were just putting out shows to put out shows. And for them to be limited series and then introducing characters that are not, because the weirdest thing that happened, and I want to say this was 2021, we started phase 5 with Black Widow. Then you introduced Shang-Chi. and then you did WandaVision, Loki, then you come out with the Eternals, and none of that
It was a
connects.
mess. It all seems like a mess.
Yeah.
Then you come out with Moon Knight, you come out with Hawkeye, then you throw in, what did they do after that? I can't remember what show. Miss Marvel was pretty good. But then, then we get to Multiverse of Madness. My issue was
it's all a mess. Everything
you're
just reminding me of my anger. It's all a mess.
It was everywhere.
Shang-Chi was the only like gem out of all of that, if we being honest. I love Shang-Chi.
My issue was,
movie-wise,
unpopular opinion, I liked Hawkeye, except for that last episode. Okay, that last episode,
I did not like Hawkeye.
I didn't watch it.
Okay,
I only
Thank you.
Right.
I only liked Hawkeye when Yelena showed up.
I love Yelena, and I love the villain,
Yelena,
like the deaf fighter girl. I liked her.
Yeah.
I really liked her. And
you know, she's getting her own show.
Yeah, I hope that. Now I'm excited for it. You know, before I'd be like, oh, they're gonna just f her up like they effed up everybody else.
My issue with the Hawkeye show was that because the thing that we had been leading up to Hawkeye with like the TV series was like the repercussions of what happened with Thanos, and everybody just dealing with the aftermath of what happened. And then we get the Hawkeye, and he killed all these people in Endgame, and he just in New York chilling, having Christmas dinner with his kids. And it's kind of just like, you know, where's the repercussions on his end?
You telling me a murderer can't enjoy some good Christmas dinner?
He got family. He just want to be with his kids, you know?
He just want to hang out with his kids.
My thing is, I get what you're saying, but I felt differently because for me, it was the aspect of, okay, during that time, his whole family was gone. So he's like, now they're back after everything. And now I want to enjoy them. And I want to like I really like the aspect of like, because he's like the everyday man, you know, he doesn't really have, outside of having a great shot, he doesn't really have a huge, like, he doesn't have any healing powers. He doesn't have any, you know, so all he has is his family, and all that was taken away. So he went dark. And I feel like this was like a fun, you know, coming back to reality of like leaving this world behind, which he tried to quit before in Civil War, and they brought him back in during Civil War. So, you know,
I feel it from that end, because the things that I did like about the show, I did like the dynamic between him and Kate Bishop. Yelena being there was chef's kiss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Loved her.
But going back with Christine, like, it was everywhere, because when is Kate Bishop coming back? Is Hawkeye coming back? Like, if we look at the slate of movies and TV shows that are coming up, we got a lot of introduction to characters and a lot of content that really doesn't matter. Because my biggest thing was Multiverse of Madness, like,
garbage.
Everybody, we got Loki, which was the whole thing with the TVA and Kang the Conqueror, and then we got WandaVision and how Wanda's now this Nexus being, and now she can do all this stuff with the multiverse, and then we get the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and none of that stuff is integrated at all.
Yeah.
And I was watching an interview with Elizabeth Olsen, and there was a part, she was reading the script for Multiverse of Madness, and she had asked the people who were writing the script, she was like, did you guys watch WandaVision? And they either told her no, or they told her they hadn't finished it. And I was just like,
bro,
what?
That's a joke.
So I'm excited that they're, you know, following traditional TV culture. Other things that they said they're changing is that they plan on having full-time TV executives instead of having executives straddle both television and film, and they're going to focus on multi-season serialized TV. Marvel says they want to create shows that run several seasons where characters can take time to develop relationships with the audience rather than feeling as if they are there as a setup for a big crossover event.
That's nice.
And I love that, because the only Disney Plus show that has gotten a season 2, and they've put out 9, by the way, but only one has received a season 2, and that was Loki.
Because it also makes you feel like, as a casual MCU fan, it also makes you feel like, these series are connected to the movies. If I miss a movie and I miss a series, you almost feel like you're in a hole. And like almost like you feel forced.
But it wasn't supposed to be like that at first. Like a long time ago, when they said they were putting MCU TV shows on Disney Plus, everybody's big concern was like, whoa, do I have to watch these shows to understand the movies? And they were like, no. They easily went back on that. starting with Loki. They easily went back on that. But like, I'm definitely glad because they should have been doing this earlier. Like, I feel like we should have gotten multiple seasons of Falcon and the Winter Soldier before we got to Captain America 4. Like, how do you give us one season of something? He turns out to be Captain America, and then we hop several years later, and now we're getting a Captain America 4 movie. Like, I feel like you could have snuck in like 2 seasons to build up what's going on before we hop into this movie.
Yeah, I do want to, because mind you, I do want to say really quick shout out to my interns because they had told me about this, prior to signing on to do the show. One of the things that I didn't see in the article, and you can let me know, are they going to apply this also to their Star Wars stuff? Because this is really showing you that the problem has been Disney and not MCU, because the Star Wars shows have had very similar problems. The aspect of shoddy timing, pacing, character development. Like, they ruined Obi-Wan. I haven't seen Ahsoka yet because they already killed my Obi-Wan. Like, they didn't kill the character, but maybe they should have. But like,
I think they should have had multiple seasons of Obi-Wan, honestly.
Yeah, and they should have started prior to where the show actually started. Give us that depth. Give us that experience of him. It was very much giving, I don't know if you guys remember when Taken had come out.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, all of these old action stars had their movies. They were all coming back. Pierce Brosnan came out with a movie. Bruce Willis came out with Red. And then
I remember,
Expendables came out.
Yes, like all these people. Taken really showed that, like, hey, us old men, we could come back and do this action. And they wanted us to have that, okay, you used to be something and you're struggling with it. But it was like they were struggling with writing a consistent plot or consistent character development for him. And I feel like I hope the problem has not been MCU. The problem has been Disney. And so they better do the same thing to the Star Wars show.
I didn't see anything about Disney. The only thing Star Wars. The only thing they said about Star Wars is that between Marvel and Star Wars are their highest watched content on Disney Plus. But I would definitely agree. I have some nitpicks about the Obi-Wan series, the Ahsoka series. They're doing a season 2. I didn't have any big nitpicks.
Oh, really?
Ahsoka.
Oh, okay.
Other than the fight,
I got her lightsabers. Like, she's my number one.
I'm gonna prepare you for this, Christine. The fight choreography.
That's what I saw a lot of people talking about. That's why I was surprised your rating was so high.
The fight, and it made me so mad because Ahsoka is that girl. She is that girl where her and that Shoto blade, she gets down, and Rosie O'Dawson just didn't execute. And I was like, you need to get in the fight studio. You need to get with them folks who was doing the prequels, because the way that Anakin and Obi-Wan was just throwing them lightsabers, you need to get with them. And that's the only thing I would say about that. But I don't know if they're gonna apply it to the Star Wars series. I would hope they would do it with all of their stuff, though.
I would hope so. I feel like the only series that they seem to really care about was High School Musical, the series, and that's the only one that seemed to be more consistent. It has like 3 or 4 seasons. I feel like they cared about it even more than Mandalorian, because Mandalorian first season was just not it.
It was hard for me to get into that.
Yeah. Boba Fett was boring. Oh my gosh.
I heard that was boring too.
Yeah.
Like, I watched Obi-Wan because, prequels.
Yeah.
And then Ahsoka, I was like, I gotta watch Ahsoka. But like, some of them was just like, I don't know. So we'll see what they decide to do.
That's what happened when a company becomes a big conglomerate like Disney. It needs more competition.
Yeah.
But they buying it up. They bought Fox.
That's the issue.
Yeah. But I want to get into that too. So there's 2 pieces to this conversation I want to have. Is that one, Marvel Studios said they're ready to meet with writers and take pitches for the upcoming reboot of the X-Men franchise. But the X-Men aren't expected to appear until after the Fantastic Four are introduced in 2025.
Okay.
And after the multiverse saga concludes with Avengers: The Kang's Dynasty and Secret Wars. So hold on to that, because if they're putting in the X-Men after Secret Wars, this is leading into the rumor that the MCU may do a soft reboot after Secret Wars. And part of that rumor is that they're going to make the Sony Spider-Man universe part of the MCU, and they're going to reboot X-Men, and they're going to bring back, the rumors that they're going to bring back T'Challa, Tony, Steve, and other characters that have been killed off in the MCU.
I have mixed feelings about this. So one, I feel like is contractual, right? Because if you, well, I'm sure you guys know, but for those listening, originally Marvel, they sold their cinematic rights to like Sony and Fox to, you
Universal
know,
too.
give us their money so that they could get some money until they started doing MCU stuff and doing their own Marvel Cinematic Universe. And Sony still had rights to some of their characters, including Spider-Man and all of his villains, or all, or if not most of his villains. And I know
they got his whole catalog.
Okay. And then I know that when they were doing Civil War, that was when they were at talks with Sony, at least to get Spider-Man, but he's basically on loan, right? So it makes sense to me that this gives them time to come back to the table to be able to integrate him into the universe officially, or more officially, I guess. So the timing of that makes sense. However, the whole aspect of having T'Challa return or Tony return or Steve return is very much giving the live action of our past animations situation or mindset of like, instead of doing new, we're going to just do again or do it, you know, and that is that I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I mean, there's so many stories that a lot of these comic book characters can take that you don't have to go back to them.
My only reasoning of why they're going to soft reboot after Secret Wars is because of what happens at the end of Secret Wars. So they're going off, what I've heard, they're going off the 2015 version of Secret Wars, where it's basically, so Doctor Strange introduced the idea of incursions. And incursions are basically like when two universes collide and they, so basically Earth 616, which is basically the MCU continuity, and some other universe is going to incurge and blow up. And they got to introduce Doctor Doom, because Doctor Doom then takes all these broken pieces of the multiverse and makes his own little planet. So stuff happens, stuff goes down, they beat Doom, and they end up on this new universe where everybody is living and combined and stuff. So I don't know if they're going to soft reboot, because after Secret Wars, they're going to destroy 616 and make this new universe, which then at that point makes sense for them to reintroduce people.
I'll give you that. We'll see how these
I don't know if that's the plan. But my concern, I have a very big concern for Secret Wars, because there's a lot of major players in that storyline that haven't been introduced or just dead boots.
You say that, and I think of Secret Invasion, and I'm just like upset.
Secret Invasion was awful.
I was just the only thing I liked was Bob Marley. I only liked him.
But Secret Invasion, given the storyline and then what they did in that series, I was kind of like, what's the point, yo? And that just adds back to what we were saying, like, it's a mess. Like, why are we discussing Skrulls when we're just, at the same time, we're discussing this multiverse timeline stuff at the same time that we're doing stuff on the ground? Like,
I feel like it was also like Black Widow's story, where it was just, it seemed out of place. Like, because mind you, it's been so long since we've seen Nick Fury, since we've been involved with Nick Fury after everything, and then it take us back to him. And then the whole, again, oh, you used to be something, you're not who you used to be, that whole rhetoric. I was just like, and then when people are like, oh, why are you going to call your friends? This is my fight. Oh gosh, come on. Global invasion, sir. Okay. Perspective, please.
Millions of Skrulls. Millions.
Hopefully with them fixing the limited series down the line, they can start to throw in those major pieces that you're saying, Phoop, into, you know, certain parts of different series that they're going to be doing. That would help it. I don't know how much help it would be, but it would at least ease it.
It sounds a little painful, because it's kind of almost like they lost their original vision. Because like MCU, did something
Mm.
amazing in the beginning where they introduced characters that none of us knew. And like Phoop reminds me all the time, like before MCU, we only knew what? Spider-Man, Hulk, some of the X-Men,
Wolverine.
and Fantastic Four. And now it's like, oh, we got to reboot. We're bringing back Tony. We bringing back T'Challa. Even though I'm mad that y'all wrote off T'Challa, I know, R.I.P. Chadwick.
Understandable.
It was
RIP.
understandable. We can't let that. It's something out of our control. But at the same time, for y'all to bring all of that back, it's almost like you're dipping away from what your original vision was. Like, give these new characters some light. Show casuals like me who ain't read the comics that y'all have a wide array of interesting characters who have interesting stories and put them in the forefront. You know what I mean?
I definitely agree because they've introduced a lot of people, a lot of new people who haven't got that big breakthrough yet. Like, we're still waiting for Thunderbolts to come out just to see Yelena in another movie. They've introduced Kate Bishop. They've introduced Patriot. They've introduced Miss Marvel. They've introduced Ironheart. They've introduced Shang-Chi. We still ain't seen him back yet.
Black Knight.
Say that again?
Black Knight.
Black Knight with the Eternals. Moon Knight, don't know when he's coming
Star
back.
Fox.
And being honest, even though Eternals dropped the ball, it had a lot of potential. For me, I could see it. For me,
honestly, that should have been a series. Eternals should have been a series.
Exactly. I saw the potential in that. I'm like, y'all can't just,
But my thing, and that just goes back to like, where is this going? Like, what does the Eternals have to do with this multiverse timeline, ground team, Skrull invasion stuff that they got going on? And I really just feel like they put a lot of stuff out of place. The TV, depending on when they can execute this new multi-series TV stuff, they may be able to fix some of the issues that are going on in this multiverse saga. But I'm kind of looking, we're in 2023. Secret Wars is supposed to come out in 2027. I'm not sure how much they can fix because they already said that they're cutting back on the amount of Marvel content that they're going to be releasing each year. So I don't know how much they can fix before we get to that point.
And also, it's not over. So the strike isn't over.
True.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like the writers just got okayed, but not because they haven't gotten the official like you can get back to work yet.
They just stopped picketing, right?
They just got the right. They don't have to strike, and now talk shows can come back, but they haven't. So I feel like they had visions up until Endgame, and I feel like in the meantime they just did not because like you said, they wrote the playbook so much so DC was like, we're not even gonna start over. We'll get the team together right now. Justice League now.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. So don't get me started.
I know it's painful. They had set a precedent though that had the others shaking in their boots and deciding, hey, let's try to get there now because we see what they're doing. And I definitely agree. I feel like they did lose their vision. I do feel like they need to just take a step back, a breather, and then start over, not in the aspect of a soft reboot. And I can understand how comic book wise that would make sense, but in the aspect of like, let's start doing what we did before. We had an Iron Man movie. We had a Thor movie. We had a Captain America movie. Then we braided them together. Let's set up our individual strands first. Yeah, take your time. Because I do agree, you had the debacle of the TV shows, which I feel like really didn't allow these new people to shine. Because Miss Marvel, I do not care about Miss Marvel. I loved her family, and that was it. I loved her family and what I learned about the history of like India and Pakistan. Like I loved the information I learned from that. But I didn't care for her. I hated the villains, okay? Yes. And obviously they didn't have a person who's a mother, right? Or they didn't talk to a mom. Maybe they didn't talk to their own mom because that was just trash the way that they wrote her. And now all of a sudden at the end she cares. You was like, you was going to leave him to die. You left him to let's not dive into that.
For real though. They're talking about transfer my spirit to my son. Like, girl.
It's all for her so she could still to live. She don't care about her son, okay? But it was like, I do feel like you have, I'm hoping Marvels will set it better because I like what I've seen in the trailer from her character.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
We'll see. I've lost faith. Not gonna lie.
I just
I have to.
The
I'm
MCU is starting to sound like the DCU for sure now.
yo, I'm gonna say this because I said
They're
this to Ryan
switching.
before.
They're switching.
I said this to Ryan. When James Gunn starts ripping and running, the MCU got to get this shit together. They have to get their shit together now.
Honestly, that's why they should take their break. Honestly, I know companies don't want to do this, but honestly, let the DCU shine. Take some time to plot, plan, be methodical. You know what I'm saying?
They need to get their shit together now before James Gunn starts ripping and running.
I want them to.
But just the transition into like the DCU news. So we got two things on the list. So Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, and Ezra Miller are not returning as their DCEU characters in the DCU. Jason Momoa is in the talks to return to the DCU as Lobo, not Aquaman. And three characters that we know who were in the DCU who are returning is John Cena as Peacemaker, Viola Davis as Amanda Waller, and Zolo Maridueña as Blue Beetle.
So Viola Davis was such a perfect cast that I see why she got to go. Come back.
Nah, for real. Like looking at all the animated not Viola Davis's, the animated Amanda Waller, and then getting to Viola Davis, like they have to keep her.
She need to be permanent. Like that. Keep her forever. Don't let her contract in. Give her money.
She don't need to go nowhere.
The only thing that I have to say to this news is good. Y'all already know how I feel about Ezra. Y'all already know. I've been feeling this way about Ezra since Justice League 2017. They should have got him out of here.
I do feel like Gal Gadot was a great Wonder Woman. They messed up in the second movie, but I feel like she was a solid Wonder Woman.
Yeah, her second 1984 was a mess.
Yeah. It was. The only thing that I have to say about the other three is that James Gunn has already made it known that he wants to start with a younger Justice League, which is part of the reason why Henry Cavill is not returning. So for those three, it makes sense because I didn't hate Ben Affleck as Batman.
Me neither.
Gal Gadot had it until that second movie, and I didn't hate Henry Cavill as Superman. It was really just Ezra.
Yeah.
But like if he's going for a fresh Justice League, they gotta go. They old as hell.
For safety, for your guys' safety, I'll say that, for Ezra, they, them, just for to cover you guys.
Yeah.
To cover you guys.
Sorry about that.
No. Listen. It's the internet.
I understand.
It's the internet.
Well,
I know
they
it was an
had
honest
to
mistake. Okay. And nobody should be mad at you because it was an honest mistake. So everybody else need to chill out. Look at me.
Chill out.
We apologize, but they had to go.
They did.
Yes, for sure.
They had to go.
Yeah.
Like I hated him and hated them. And Justice League 2017 and that Flash movie really just solidified.
I didn't see that Flash movie.
It has so much potential from the trailer. The trailer made it look like
it has so much potential.
Whoever controlled that trailer, that need to be the person that helps cast these movies because they did a great job. That was great.
That was and I agree with Phoop. From the minute I saw Ezra in the running in Justice League, I was like, for me, yes, like as if you're like throwing out paper as you're like running, like a running delivery paper person, just like throwing out paper. I didn't vibe with it. The fact that nobody corrected the running, mind you, we know it was a mess. There was, Zack Snyder had to dip out, and Joss Whedon came in, and it was two different visions, yada yada. But it was a mess. I do feel bad for Gal Gadot, and I do feel bad for Henry Cavill. I don't really feel that bad for Ben Affleck, but I kind of do at the same time because, when he did Daredevil and then everybody hated him and he's like, I'll never do superhero movies ever again. He came back as Batman. We loved him originally. Then Justice League came out. And I felt like with Justice League, he was, you can definitely see the I give up on this type of energy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it could be clash of,
interest,
creative direction, because if you remember, after Batman v Superman, he was set to direct and write the next Batman movie.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then Justice League came out and they were like, news, he's not doing it. It's done. We're not doing, and I feel like I do feel kind of bad for him because I know his feelings are hurt and it's what he wants to do. But also, I think he's going to be okay. Henry Cavill, even though he's certified, I do feel like he's still finding his way because he's not going to be the Witcher anymore, and he
Right.
was like set to be that.
Yeah.
And now they have Superman, which I don't blame him for, because Man of Steel, I think, is also a mess, but I don't blame him for that mess. I say like writing is a problem. It makes no sense. I'll just say this. I'm not going to dive in, but no sense that the man that is OP does not go into the tornado to save the dog. It doesn't make sense that the human man who is completely fallible to go through this tornado. And then not only that, they pissed on his grave because the dog got out basically without the help of the father anyways. So he died for nothing, but we're just going to move along. I feel bad for Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot because she's still trying to find her footing as
Man,
an
baby.
Yeah.
because I didn't
Gal
see
Gadot's
Heart of
still
Stone, but
trying-
I heard that it wasn't.
She's back in Fast and Furious
She-
now, at least.
She's in Fast. That's what I
Yeah.
was finna say. It got so
What?
bad. She returned back to Fast and the
They brought
Furious.
Everybody who dies
They
in
brought her
Fast
back
and
at the end of Fast X.
Look,
I know it's the running joke that everybody who dies in the Fast and the Furious franchise doesn't really die, except a few. There are some people who died.
Well,
and
there's
never
one
came
who
back.
really passed away.
Yeah.
But they still brought him with his
Yeah.
brothers.
Fast
Yeah,
and Furious
but-
got the power of family. Family will never let you die.
But she back.
I'm
Like
not.
the
I'm
money
done.
the money got so bad that she went back to Toretto and them.
But it's one of those things though, like I feel bad for the actors because it's a difference when you have a bad actor versus a bad writer and just a bad scene and a bad
Yes.
script.
Oh yeah.
Because like they are
Yeah,
not
yeah.
bad actors. They are very
Right.
great. It's just they got bad. They were just done dirty. They just got hired for
Yeah.
bad
They were
jobs.
used-
A bad deal.
Yeah.
The DCU itself was just no plan. We're just making movies. We got this star-studded cast to do nothing with. Like
They were itching
I-
to be MCU. They were like, I want to be MCU now, not like let me start it. And the thing that drives me crazy with just because people have money, this really a true example. There's many. We had Trump as president, but like another example of having so much money does not make you smart. You have
Exactly.
a playbook that was like Kevin Feige and them, and his friends. They worked for like a decade and they had it planned for a decade. You want to be
Right.
like, I want to be there now. Instead of being like, let's do what they did, set up these stories and then braid them together.
And
if
here's
the
the funny.
DCEU had taken its time, they would be shitting on the MCU
Here's
right
the
now.
funny
Yes.
thing. They would
They
be in
had
Justice
taken
League
their
now
time.
if they took their time.
Darkseid would be such a threat right now, and we would be eating.
That's-
We wouldn't be
Right.
We'll still be
Because
mad
Who
about
would
the
they be worried
DCU.
about?
effing up, DCU would have been
Yes.
like
If they-
up there.
If by the time when did these movies release? Like when did even the first Justice League or Superman v Batman come out?
2017.
If
They did Man of
Yeah.
Steel, Batman v Superman, and then jumped to
so the
Justice
mid to
League.
late 2010s, if they took their time then, the early 2020s, skip past the pandemic, we could
We
be
would-
leading up to Justice League now, and it would be lit.
Yo,
We could be
we
there
would have
now.
had like we would have been like Justice League Unlimited. We would have had so many people on that roster going against
Because
Darkseid.
I like a good Martian Manhunter, good Green Lantern. Forget the big three. Forget the big three. Everybody else, a full Bat family. We could have a part of the Bat family by now. Like, come on now.
I wanted
Mhm.
Justice League Apocalypse War, and I hate that the animated content always has to hold them up because
It
when
does.
Infinity War, when Endgame finished and they dropped Apocalypse War was so good. They went Darkseid told them up, but I was like, this is what
Look,
you guys could have
they could
had,
be-
like live action, had you taken the
a
time.
great Teen Titans. Like, come on, bro. We could have had so much by now.
They could have had
If
so
they took
many
the-
like younger teams, Teen
Mhm.
Titans, Young Justice, Doom Patrol would actually be getting some shine.
Just took their time.
Like they could have had like 3 teams of Teen Titans because that's how they're splitting it up now. Like they had Teen Titans, and the Justice League. And in one comic book line, the Teen Titans just became the Justice League. So it's like y'all could have did like so much stuff if you just took your
And
time.
they have material, like comics were
They have
invented in the
ton of
50s
material.
or 60s, right? Like you have
In my opinion,
decades
DC's
of
better than Marvel.
material.
Though OG material, in my opinion, DC's better than Marvel. Personally,
I'll say
I
this: I loved, because I'm a Batman girl. Okay, Batman is my man, right? Bruce Wayne and them. I love
Bruce Wayne
them,
and
my
them.
man.
right? I love them. But when MCU was rocking, I was like, okay, cinematically MCU. But I agree with you. Batman was, but Superman I didn't really care about. But Batman was my boo.
Look,
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna bring my Superman or my Batman. Go ahead, keep talking. I'm gonna show you my Batman.
I just want a good Nightwing.
But, like,
I will say,
honestly,
yeah,
I would say this. There's a rumor, and I don't know how it's a rumor. So me saying I don't know how true it is just defeats the fact of saying it's a rumor.
yeah.
But James Gunn stuff is supposed to lead into Crisis on Infinite Earths. Crisis on So what my dad was telling me, because my dad is the OG.
mm-hmm.
The original,
Not the 10-inch Funko,
That's crazy.
not the Funko.
That's what's
Don't
up.
ain't her.
I
She
got mine in
she
my-
got the smaller one.
Nice.
I got mine.
Hey,
I love him. That's my boo.
But like my dad, like y'all know, my dad is the OG comic book head.
Mhm.
He said Marvel
Mhm.
created Secret Wars in response to DC's Crisis on Infinite Earths. Like Crisis on Infinite Earth is that multiverse storyline for DC. So the rumor is that James Gunn stuff is supposed to lead into Crisis on Infinite Earths. And if it is, that's gonna be some good shit, y'all.
Look, bro.
If the journey's good.
If they
If the journey's good.
if they allow James Gunn to get on them TV shows and they do
Okay.
well,
Which
But
they
let's-
said
he
they
might
are,
have
right?
a chance to
But
do
let's-
that movie.
Right. And let's get into this because he is. But
Okay.
then something came. They said that James Gunn and DC Studios will not have full autonomy with the DCU's television projects due to Max being creatively involved with them. So
But it's
they
all under
just
the
have-
same umbrella. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this?
I think they're just gonna bypass it and just let him. They
I
might
think it's
try
a
to control the
precaution.
first
If he
one.
do good,
I think
I
it's a
think it's going to
precaution.
lead into what we want.
I think they're gonna let him drive. I
Yeah.
think it's a precaution.
Mm.
Just because everybody who they put in charge to do something for the DCU, they haven't been making no money. Black Adam failed. Shazam failed. Flash
Pat was good.
you know-
Pat was good.
But like,
Mm.
Do y'all
And
feel
then
differently?
Blue-
Ryan, what's Ryan? What's good?
It was
What's
alright.
good?
It was alright.
What? It was, listen, I didn't know that Colin Farrell was in that movie until like, a month or two after. So that's pretty good.
I ain't enjoyed anything from DC except they animated movies lately. Nothing.
but like, I know I say DC. I know we just say like DC shouldn't try to like compete with the MCU, but this is like the one thing that y'all should do like in sync. Like let him have it. Like let him drive.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's going to get there when he makes his money and they prove that he know what he talking about. I feel like that's when it's going to like, okay, the contract's been made.
Yeah.
I think it's just a precaution because they've like they're about to put 10 years of DC content down the drain. Like this is officially going nowhere.
Mhm.
It's a mess, man. They're all a
So, like,
mess.
So I
They're
feel
just
like
gonna have to take that L.
I feel like they have no choice. I feel like it's a precaution. I agree with Ryan. I think when Superman Legacy comes out, because I think that's gonna kick off the DCU Chapter 1. I think when Superman Legacy comes out, and if that gets like good reception, I think they're gonna let him have it. Maybe they'll wait like a couple TV because Creature Commandos is supposed to be a TV series, and then they're making Waller, a TV series. And if that gets good reception, they may just let him have it. I also heard that he's been working with the people who are doing the Penguin spinoff series for the Batman, and they might give him the ropes with that, but you got to keep in mind that the Batman is not considered DCU. That's Elseworlds.
Elseworlds, yeah.
And the Batman was
Yeah.
perfect.
I do feel like Pat Bat, he was great. I enjoyed him as as who he was. But I do feel like what you're saying makes sense. The fact that they want him to prove himself before they really officially sign off on him running everything. But I feel like there's so much that you can forgive when it's a world or a universe versus all these different one-offs. Like think of what was that Marvel show that they had? Shield, right? Shield was like people in their backyard could have made something that looked better, right? But so many people loved it because it was a part of the world. Like it was a part of the world. And you forgive so much when Easter eggs go so far for fans. Easter eggs for anything
when they into
go
it.
so far for a fan. Yes. And then they're like trying to braid the lore together. And then that's where they find the fun. And that's where you could bring the community together. So they really need to stop sectioning off their things, make it all one, and let's tell a cohesive story.
There we go.
All right.
I agree. We said this on a previous episode. I think they did Elseworlds just because that one-off Joker and that one-off Batman movie made them so much money.
Yeah.
And like the DCEU did not have anything together to like even like fully integrate the Joker, because like to make they didn't even make a solo Batman film. They just did Batman v Superman and then went straight to Darkseid, and it's like you skipped over so many Batman villains and just made him go against Darkseid.
And that's the thing. How you thought the big bad this early? Like this early? This early?
Yeah.
He didn't even seem that intimidating because we saw him this early.
Darkseid was so ugly.
Yes.
He was so ugly. Like Thanos looks better than him, and he has a booty chin. Like he's a purple face booty chin, and he looks better than Darkseid.
Thanos like a weird bodybuilder who spray painted himself.
But like Darkseid was so ugly, and it was just like, how do you skip? Like, and then they skipped. They tried to rush so much lore that comes with Darkseid and Apocalypse. I could complain for hours, but I'm not.
There's a lot to complain about.
I just want to see some good characters. I want to see a good Zatanna. I want to see a good Catwoman. I want to see a good...
He said they might... James Gunn's been throwing out a bit of like hints of the characters that he's trying to bring in. If he does bring Lobo in, that'll be great. Because there's so many Superman rogues other than Zod and Darkseid and Brainiac that we could touch on to really build Superman as a character. Lobo is one of them. He teased that Mr. Terrific is coming. He teased Zatanna might be coming. So, like, the fact that he's doing a whole show on Creature Commandos, it gives me... And he's making a solo Green Lantern show. And he's doing the Mascara show.
And we deserve a good Green Lantern. We deserve a good Green Lantern.
I feel like he's really going to dive into the lore and really like... And actually build this universe. Because the DCU is huge. It's not just the 7 members of the Justice League. Like there's so many people. Like if you read the storyline for Injustice, it affected everybody. The magic people in the DC universe, the Greek mythology characters of the DC universe, the ground team, the magic folks, people on Krypton. They got into the New Gods, like the New Gods Apocalypse thing. Like there's so much stuff that he can touch, and I feel like he will touch all of it. But that's number 1 on my list. Do everybody.
Okay.
So, moving past the entertainment news, we got some video game news.
Woo-hoo!
So just to close this out and bring this full circle, Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard has been approved. We're going to talk about some first looks at Spider-Man 2 that dropped yesterday. Discuss a little about the PS5 Slim. And then along with the PS5 Slim, Microsoft has also announced their diskless Xbox Series X console that should be dropping sometime in 2024. And Activision's Bobby Kotick teases that there may be a reemergence of Guitar Hero.
Ooh.
So, I do want to start with the Guitar Hero thing. I have one request. I know we got these new gen consoles, and I know how everybody wants to be like super realistic and, you know, it's Guitar Hero, guitar songs. Don't come in here with no stupid ass controls. That's dumb.
What do you mean?
Like, I can't remember if it was Rock Band or Guitar Hero, but you remember they like revamped Guitar Hero? Not Guitar Hero, but like Rock Band for like Xbox and PS4, and they changed the way the controller worked.
Oh,
I wasn't a big...
I loved doing the drums. I would argue just to do the drums.
Are you talking about when they changed the keys?
Yeah, so it's
to like the flat ones to make it look like an actual guitar, and it was hard to tell which key you was pressing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
that's what I'm talking about. Don't do nothing
Okay.
stupid. I know we want to be realistic and like, wow, what if we made it look like a good... I'm cool with my green, yellow, red, blue, and orange button. I'm fine.
Yes.
I'm fine with it. Just, if they bring it back, don't do nothing stupid. 2, I want all the songs. I want all of them.
Yes.
I
I need a Guitar Hero Ultimate.
I need a Just Dance catalog of Guitar Hero songs. I'm being dead
where you can
serious.
like, they might do that. We're in the years of subscription services, so they might do like
Yeah.
a Guitar Hero Plus,
Living
because everybody
service,
likes to say
yeah.
Plus. And in order to get the old songs or get the whole catalog, you pay a monthly subscription and you get to get the whole entire catalog. I completely see.
It's
If
gonna
they
happen.
didn't think about it, we just gave them that idea.
Well,
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 that's
we've been giving a
actually
lot
we're
of
gonna
people
touch that later.
ideas.
We're gonna touch that
Yeah.
later because we've been getting in trouble.
We've been giving a lot of people ideas, but that's my only thing that I have to say on Guitar Hero. And then going back to a conversation that we had about the Switch, this would be the perfect game to go on the Switch.
If the Switch did right,
If they brought back
Yes.
if they brought back Guitar Hero.
if they did
Yes.
right,
That will be the time that I get a Switch.
So it really just depends on the controls, what that guitar looks like. And then if they're do similar to how the Wii was, it depends on how they're gonna have the Joy-Cons hook into the guitar. Because like with the Wii, it was like you just stick the little cord up the little stick. I forget
You're right.
the controller and just put it in the guitar and go.
I don't know
But
how
then-
it's going to work with the Joy-Cons.
Right, because the Joy-Cons don't have, unless they make something on the guitar, like, you know how the guitar has like the curve, and they make a piece of the curve,
You
the
just
Joy-Con,
lock
and you
the
just
Joy-Con.
click it in, and then that completes the whole guitar. I can see
That'd
that.
be smart.
See, they could do that.
Or even the end.
That
But
too.
that's also why I think it still might be a little bit better on Xbox, because now that they own Activision, they can always make a proprietary guitar style controller that got the same infrared
Yeah.
lights and everything as the Xbox controller, make it real smooth.
It's actually smart.
Hmm
Yeah.
My only complaint is just about playability when it comes to content creators, and this would be something I could possibly only play on Twitch. Like, I couldn't play this on YouTube because of copyright, unless
Ooh, that
they
is
have
true.
a huge
Because of the songs.
because of the songs. So if they have a huge that my only ask is that they have a catalog of royalty-free music that those who want to play on YouTube can, because that's the same thing with Beat Saber. Beat Saber, I play that on, because, I want to play BTS. I want to play KDA. I want to play Lizzo. I want to play, Queen. They came out with a Queen pack.
Mhm.
And you can do that on Twitch, not on YouTube.
Now that streaming is so big, I think they might take that into consideration. I would hope they do, honestly, because it's good marketing for
Yeah.
their game at the end of the day as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I hope so.
That's a good point. We'll see if they go
I just-
forward with it, though.
I just don't want them to put TikTok songs on there.
They're going to be
Like
there.
super
That
duper
you
TikTok
you
stuff.
already know the shutdown TikTok songs. They're going to be there.
Don't put that on Guitar Hero.
No, because
please
it was
don't.
supposed to be rock music. It was Guitar Hero
Yeah.
rock music.
I beg you to not
You-
put those TikTok
You
songs
got to
on
do
Guitar
it for the
Hero.
kids.
Put on DJ Hero. Put on DJ Hero. Because
Bring that back.
Yes,
Bring
that's
DJ
where
Hero
that
back.
belongs.
If y'all gonna do that.
Yeah, DJ Hero was for like the hip hop and R&B, and they had cool mixes.
They
They did
did.
some cool mixes and mashups and stuff like that of classic songs and like 90s hip hop, all that stuff. And they even had like the Eminem. I don't know if it was also Jay-Z, but I know they had like the Eminem pack as well. So they had that's for the DJs for hip hop, R&B, Guitar Hero, rock. Let's keep it like that.
The money on their mind,
Guitar
I can
Hero.
see it. If money's on their mind, I can see it.
But I mean, but my thing. Let me call up Fallout Boy and them right now and
'Cause
let them know y'all need. We need something.
I do want to
need an
play
album.
Fallout
Something.
Panic. I would like to play that.
I want
Yes.
Fallout,
Paramore.
Panic,
Oh my goodness, I want to
Paramore.
play
Yes.
I
Paramore.
need Paramore.
Oh,
Green Day. Come on,
We know
I
some old
need all
Nirvana
of them.
songs gonna be on there. Throw them on there too.
Maroon 5. will
ahead.
be
I want
on
some
there.
Journey.
Put
okay,
Kiss.
I want some Journey.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, put them 3 Kiss songs on there because you're gonna want to do it.
Mhm.
Go ahead, put Detroit Rock on there. Just Leave them TikTok songs where they at, please. I
I'm
beg
sorry.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
If they don't, I would be surprised if they didn't put some on there.
But how does
I
that
would
even?
boo with the biggest boo.
That
if they did
wouldn't
that.
fit.
Yeah, it doesn't fit.
I would be right behind you with the biggest boo of all time. If I see a commercial for a remaster or the
and they're
new
doing the
Guitar Hero,
you know that dance.
And
that I
that's
can't
what I'm
do?
saying.
Like
that's what I'm saying.
That,
yeah, do
Baby,
it.
come give me something. They on the
I
guitar.
promise.
I'm going to
I
cut it
promise you.
off.
I promise you. I will save this. I'm betting $20. I'm betting $20. We're going to see one TikTok song on there. Really about 5.
Well,
it's
it
going to be
needs to
about
be-
5.
If it's a TikTok rock song, this is I will only
Right.
give it if
That-
it's rock.
yeah.
But don't have, like any of the challenges and stuff like that. None of that on there if it wasn't a rock song, a
Look.
guitar focused song.
You
Guitar
have Just
Hero.
Dance for that. You have Just Dance for
Yes.
the
We'll
little TikTok
see.
dances.
Yes.
Put them in there.
Yeah.
Don't bring them to Guitar Hero.
Please.
But keeping the topic on Activision, so Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard was approved.
About time. Get it over with.
It took
We've been
long
following that for a while.
Yeah, it's been
enough. Yeah.
Like we all knew it was
Year or
going
so?
through. It's almost 2 years, I think.
2 years.
It's been 2 years. We've been talking about this since. I thought we've been talking about this
Hey.
since
I thought it
2022.
was longer than that.
I thought it's only been
I
a
thought it's
year.
been
I thought it was
longer.
like a year and so.
I thought a year and so because we've been talking about this since 2021.
Look, man, I'm just glad that it's over. I want to see what y'all do with the games. Bring back the good
Well-
brands. Let me see what y'all do.
I don't think they're gonna do nothing.
Oh, it was initiated in January 22.
Congratulations. Okay.
Yeah,
Congratulations to Microsoft, but it might be over with for Sony now.
No,
It might be
Nope.
over.
I don't think so.
you don't think so?
Phil
Yeah, but it's
Spencer got up on a podcast and said that it doesn't make sense for them to try to compete with PlayStation and Nintendo. It really shows that, and a lot of the execution that Xbox has had just really shows that there are too many cooks in the kitchen, too many heads in charge of different things when it comes to Microsoft versus Xbox and gaming versus the PC and then the Game Pass mix. I feel like they are relying on Call of Duty because it's a big name and the big things that Activision can bring. But we've already seen the Bethesda acquisition and it's not really, you're not really popping with it. And I feel like, I don't think that they're going to compete. I think like I feel like they've given up. They have given up on competing with PlayStation, with with Nintendo. And I just feel like they just have more that they've added to Game Pass. And I think that that's all that we're going to get.
There's a lot of layers to this because here's the thing. Nintendo announced years ago that they don't see Sony and Microsoft as competition. And I will agree. I feel like Microsoft...
They act like it, though.
But
they act like they don't see them as competition.
But here's the thing. I want to
Yeah.
understand their ideology. So are y'all saying it's more than gaming now? And Xbox is going back to when the Xbox One first launched and they said we're competing with entertainment. That's why they integrated all that TV and stuff into it. Are you just competing for our attention? Because what are you doing now? Because I would agree. I feel like Microsoft hedges their bets on games. I feel like Bethesda, Starfield was their first bet. Now the next Elder Scrolls is their next bet. Call of Duty is Activision's bet because I doubt they're going to do anything with Overwatch and World of Warcraft for real, or Doom or anything really good with that. But they need... I feel like someone just needs to be in charge. Phil Spencer acts like he in charge, but they need one person to come up with one legitimate plan. How are we going to handle Fable? What happened to Halo? What happened to all of these great franchises? Because they're just like DC.
Oh, that Halo.
They're
The way
just
they
like
pooped
DC.
on this thing. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Like, bro, Microsoft has exclusives. Sony has been dropping the ball lately a little bit, but they're going to come back with Ghost of Tsushima and everything else in this Spider-Man 2. Y'all can beat them, or at least compete. Y'all just got to make a plan.
Just try. And that's the thing. I feel like they just need to try. I feel like they're not really trying. And this is where I get, because it's giving to me. I know you said DC, but I worked at Walmart and it's giving Walmart. There's such like a difference in when you have somebody who's got a vision and this is their passion, this person, they've got this vision, this is their passion, and they're clashing and butting heads versus like, hey, let's unify. Let's make games a priority. Let's make exclusives a priority. Let's give people a reason to buy our console. And And for years, they have not given people a reason to buy their console. I mean, I do have an Xbox. Shout out to Xbox for sending me an Xbox. But I use PC. I play their games on PC. You can play any of their games on PC if you have Game Pass. And then apparently, if you have the cloud, you don't even, you could do it through there. Like instead of using Xbox and PC, you could use your browser. Yeah. So it's like you're diminishing the value of your own console. You're stepping on your own foot. And yes, for the consumer, Game Pass is great. But for your business, it's not. And the fact that you're bringing in Activision on this, and we are watching the Bethesda thing right now. We are viewing this debacle as it's crumbling. And I have no faith.
Starfield, here's the thing. I enjoyed Starfield, and it's only because I'm a fan of Bethesda that I look past the stuff. But when I started looking at the reviews, I was like, the travel was atrocious.
The flying is atrocious.
That was really bad. I don't remember too many of the characters' names. The story was dope overall, but there are some characters I could care less about, and I just can't even try to force myself to care about. They were doing a lot with the Outposts, because I didn't even really make them for real. I just stayed in Starship creation, and that was their saving grace. Being able to create your own ship. That's not Xbox. That's not Microsoft's full fault either, though. But Starfield was already in development before Bethesda got acquired. If anything, it could have came out worse.
But Redfall.
Look at Ron's face.
That ain't even worth mentioning.
Look at Ron's
I feel like that's the Xbox. That goes back to like the whole Disney MCU situation. I think that's what we're getting here. It's like Xbox as Disney and Bethesda as MCU, and being limited by your oppressor. I couldn't find any other word. Which inhibits your ability to create at the maximum potential you had. Mind you, I know for Bethesda, launch games are always a problem, and we can expect that. We've all played Fallout 76. We know, but I feel like it's one of those situations where, when you have someone that's like, hey, we've got the money to buy you, but we don't really care enough to make sure that this is succeeding at the utmost potential, is a problem.
I would agree.
That's the thing. Like, Microsoft Studios got so many resources. Why is Bethesda still using their creation engine? Why is Bethesda still using that piece of trash? Why ain't they got Unreal Engine 5 or 6 and using it to its full potential right now? Why ain't we got a new engine like CD Projekt Red? Y'all created a new engine for Halo Infinite, and y'all went for that live service bull crap, and y'all ruined the franchise. Like, what are y'all doing? Y'all got the money. Y'all got the resources. Y'all can take y'all time to do something great.
So Bungie, they're succeeding with Destiny. It was like, y'all got Halo, you can hold Halo, we doing Destiny.
And that's the thing, bro. Like, how do y'all... There's no reason for Microsoft to be failing. In real life, on paper, Microsoft has way more resources than Sony. Way more. Way better, bigger company with so much access to talent. They should be doing way better in real life.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to see on what they do now. Like, they've made all these deals with like Nintendo, Nvidia. They said Activision Blizzard games are coming to Ubisoft Plus. But like, now that you have Activision Blizzard, what's the next step?
But they're also grimy. Did you see like the leaks, the stuff about the Xbox leaks, and how I know it was rumored how they were trying to acquire Nintendo in such a sneaky way, because Nintendo's like, we don't want to get bought. So they're like, hey, we'll have a third party buy up a bunch of stock, and then we'll just buy that third party.
But they've been focused on Nintendo for over 20 years. Like, they was trying to buy Nintendo way back in like 2002. Like when OG Xbox dropped, they was trying to buy Nintendo.
Thank God they did not.
Yeah.
I know Nintendo's got its own situations and its own set of problems, Yes, Nintendo's got some work it's got to do. Shout out to Nintendo as well. But like, because they gave me Super Mario Wonder. Shout out to y'all. But yeah, like I do feel like, I feel like if Xbox had acquired Nintendo back then the nostalgia that Nintendo skates on would have been gone.
Yeah,
I would agree. I'm
still on
it'd be a whole different ball game right now.
I'm still on the train. I wish Nintendo would just become a Ubisoft competitor, just become an amazing publisher and focus solely on that. I think that would be amazing, at least now.
I think that's what they're already doing, though. I think that because they have Portable in the bag. Nobody's really touching portable as much as they have and innovating
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
space. And even with their, I'm curious to see what their new console is going to be and what that's going to look like. But I do feel like they're going to still try to stay in their lane, and they stay in their lane, and they own that lane. And like when you said that they don't look at Xbox and PlayStation as competitors, you didn't even when you said that, I'm like, they walk in that. That's how they walk. That's their ministry. They're, you know.
But what does a world?
They
But
stick
what
to their
does a
lane.
world of gaming look like when our big three giants, Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft, say we're not competing against each other? We're competing against Netflix. We're competing against Amazon. We're competing against YouTube. What does that world look like? Is it going to be a Game
There's
Pass
only one
world?
saying that. Oh, I don't want that. I don't want
But-
that. I feel like Xbox is the only one that's saying like we're competing with TV. I think with Nintendo, they're in their own ego about how they're navigating. So I feel like it's one of those things, like a puny human type of thing. You know, like you've got Loki and the Hulk. I feel like it's a situation where Nintendo is still gonna try to innovate in the gaming space or try to create. I put create new things loosely because we're still getting a lot of Marios and
Yeah.
Zeldas and reboots and whatnot. They're kind of pulling a Disney right now, but I will say that I do feel like it's not that they're giving up on competing or being competitive. I just feel like they think they already won, which is different. Xbox is coming into the game like, oh, we've already lost, we're not going to compete. And PlayStation's like, we're competing and we're winning, you know? So I feel like I feel like PlayStation and Nintendo have healthy mindsets when it comes to being competitive. Xbox, I feel, needs to buck up, you know, drink some, you know, whey protein, come to the table, and
get that muscle milk in the fridge. Just go mix it up with some.
Right.
get some Celsius, some Red Bull, and come on,
keep
make
it going.
happen.
Get it together.
Look, get that pre-workout in and that creatine and just hurry up. Do your thing.
Do it.
Get to work. But all right. So other announcements. Did anybody have anything to say about Spider-Man 2, the PS5 Slim, or Microsoft's diskless Xbox Series X console?
The diskless Xbox just brings to fruition what we already saw was coming like 10 years ago, and we're just not going to have physical media anymore. It's upsetting because
I hate that.
I like having stuff. I like being able to look at the things that I've purchased and fully own them. It sucks, but that's what we're going to. They started that with Game Pass already. Streaming services fortified it. Sony's going to follow through with the next console. We already know what's going to happen.
That. Yeah, I hate that.
Man, they're already like with the PS5 Slim. They're already like, oh, here's this detachable Blu-ray disc drive, and it's like,
we're there.
Okay, why not just buy? Why
not
just buy the disc version
for this?
We're already there.
It's getting. When I saw that, it made me think about that conversation we had about Apple when, like, now your box is just the phone. And, I got to buy headphones. I need to buy a charger. So now PS5 is going to be, like, standard console is digital. But you can buy this additional piece and still put disc in here.
But look at Apple.
I hate it.
Look at Apple now. Everything wireless. And now they want y'all to put y'all credit card on the phone. Like, and your driver's license. Like, everything's just finna be full on digital now. Everything.
The thing I don't like the idea of innovation and technology and where we're going, and yes, I get that. My problem is when you have situations, the infrastructure is not there for it to be fair for everyone.
Yeah.
When it comes to internet access for licensing, like if we have an outage in our area, because I live in Florida, we get hurricanes, we get storms, we get power outages is a normal occurrence on a monthly basis, and we are in a first world country. And when that happens and you don't have access to your internet, let's say the internet gets knocked out because some storm happened and that tower is gone, I can't play my PlayStation games.
Exactly.
And that's stupid. And that sucks. So you're pigeonholing people into an infrastructure that is not there yet for it to be fair. Because we pay $70 for games. There is no reason that when my internet is off that I cannot play the game.
Exactly.
And even if you have the physical disc, some games you still can't play, which is wild because you have to be signed in.
Yeah.
And we pay into you're like, hey, we need to raise the price of games because it costs more to make them. All right, we got you. But now we can't play them. That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because Mortal Kombat 1 connects to that server every time you start it up.
Look, my internet
All it's gonna take is that one good hacker to just come by and wipe everything.
That's my whole thing. I just like owning physical media. Like maybe I'm a dinosaur, maybe we just getting old, but there's something about just being able to look at the things you own and like be able to appreciate them. Like a completed game, and you look at the case as like a trophy. It's like this was the 60 hours that I paid for, and it was fun, and I can be reminded when I look at it.
Hey, they about to start doing like the DVDs and stuff, and the case is not about to have no games, and it's just steelbook.
They're already
game.
They're already doing that. There are collector's editions, discless games now. You want the statue in a nice box? Get it, and we'll send you a download code. Like what? What? Oh my gosh, bro.
Like materials are getting cheaper to use to make. Inflation is happening. It's wild, and this is kind of like a side tangent, how things are all contingent upon each other and how industries in different mediums are affected. Like the price, gas goes up, the price of eggs goes up, the price of making a game goes up. And it's like these things are not one in one, but they're layered upon each other. And I do feel like there's also that echo of being competitive as a business. You have Twitter and all the stuff that Elon has been doing. And then you've got Instagram being like, hey, we should also charge for people to get verified,
Ooh,
so it's like,
there we go.
Yeah, it's weird how these things are kind of, and then now he's thinking about testing if he hasn't already. I think he might have started it, but
they said they're testing it in New Zealand and the Philippines.
We already guessed that.
Okay, see, that is. Do you guys curse on this channel?
Oh yeah,
let it out.
That's fucked up.
Be yourself.
Let it out, Christine.
That's fucked up because Philippines doesn't have a solid infrastructure for internet, and you were going to charge them. It would make more sense if you were going to do it in like America.
It's only because they don't have the resources to complain as big as we can. That's how I see it.
Because they don't have the infrastructure to it. It's keeping the little guy under your foot. And that's
because Netflix did the same thing when they tested their password
cracking. They tested that in like they were doing testing like Peru for that password sharing stuff.
It was somewhere random. Yeah. It was somewhere random.
And then Disney's password crackdown, just to get into that, they're saying the crackdown starts November 1st, but the crackdown in November is for customers in Canada. And then they're gonna see how that goes.
That makes more sense. Canada's huge. It can.
Yeah.
But before we go to that, I want Spider-Man 2.
I need you to mute up, policeman Ralph.
Is that him?
I need you to mute up because they doing a drug bust over in your neighborhood.
Yeah, they got. It's funny talking about Spider-Man. It just like came up, and
all these police outside.
They're waiting on Spider-Man to get there. But I'm loving Spider-Man 2 in a non-spoiler way. I love the upgrades because, like I was telling you guys before we started recording, I had finished number 1 right on Wednesday, and then took a break, and then Friday started with number 2. And I feel like the way that it's really cool when you see the way that someone's like, hey, how can we make these things better? And I feel like when it comes to playability of having your gadgets, the accessibility of gadgets, I feel is so much better now than it was where you had to press R1 and get that wheel moving around to where you wanted it. And then if you didn't move it correctly, then you were I'm like, no, I didn't mean to use that. I meant to use this. But having it be symbol based, I like that. And then and having it on the screen, even the cool things that they're doing with, well, you know what, I don't know if they showed this yet, because Ryan, I know you're at the beginning. I'll just say this. Suits, we all know they have suits. There's a cool additional thing that they added to the suits that I think is really cool when it comes to a fan of customization in games.
Yeah.
Because I'm the type that, even though I didn't finish Starfield, I spent 2 hours in customization alone. I didn't finish FIFA. I stayed with an hour and a half in customization alone. I love character customization. So they're not anything like Starfield's customization, but adding additional individuality that you can have. I love that. I do feel like, obviously it's day 1, so there's glitches. You got people running into just staying and still running. My
sound went out.
Same.
I was I was playing a mission yesterday and just the sound went mute. And I was like, is it my TV? So I went to the home and I started hearing the PlayStation clicks and I was like, yo,
Yeah.
it's just gone.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the likes of IGN and GameSpot doing reviews and spoiling everything, I would wait like 2 weeks before playing any video game that drops nowadays. Forget the day one update. I need a 2-week update patch.
Yeah.
But
I mean, overall, the whole game quality has gone down.
It's like, yes. It's like, it's yes. Yes.
In some ways and in some ways, no.
Yeah. Because it's like they're doing
Character
a lot.
design has definitely went down.
Yeah, like I understand they're doing a lot, but I remember somebody was even comparing like, what was it, Skyrim or some Bethesda game back to when Morrowind dropped and like older Grand Theft Auto games. And you could see like the creativity that went into like NPC controls and dynamics, how NPCs act during the day versus the night. And you got games now like when not OG Cyberpunk, Starfield, where like you aim a gun at a regular NPC and they don't react. But we was having that in games in the early 2000s. What happened to like that quality? You know what I'm saying? Like y'all want God rays and graphics. What happened to just the quality of engineering behind the different components in the game? Because that's what they call them now. Like I was like, I don't even care that the light can come through the trees.
Light tracing.
Yeah, ray tracing. I see something called God rays and all that. Like I could care less about that if the NPCs don't even function correctly. You know what I mean?
I will say not to spoil or give too much away, but there are. I will say that the NPCs in this game talk more. That's one thing.
Yeah.
And the regular thugs, their dialogue, it gets one of them was like, oh, I got this new haircut. I hope it doesn't look weird on me. I'm like, what are we talking about? It was really, but it was funny. However, there are some NPCs that are actually smarter. And I really, really enjoy this. There's some of them, because, you know, in Spider-Man, it's kind of like Metal Gear where you can do stealth or you can like run and gun if you want to, depending on however you want to do it and how you want to execute the game. And I am playing it on hard. So I don't know if that affects it as well. But there are moments where, you know how like you're trying to split them up so that way you can maybe do perch takedowns or whatnot.
Take them out.
Yeah. Some of them have gotten smarter where they'll be like, all right, I watch your back. Oh, he's trying to split us up. Let's stick together. Like that's some of the stuff they're saying. And then
they were doing that in Batman. They were doing that in Batman, though.
One of them, I had to redo a mission because I was trying to split them up. Like, I took down everybody else. I was trying to split up this group of 3. And I was like, okay, I'm going to hit one on this side and hit a thing on this side to split them up. And then one of them's like, wait, listen to hear where the web is coming from. And they looked up right at me.
They be getting me. Yo.
I like
that's dope. That's innovation.
They were like that in Batman, though. Like when I used to be picking people off because I haven't seen it yet in Spider-Man, but like in Batman, when you used to do perch takedowns, they used to be able to find the guy who was like, hey, he's trying to split us up. Then everybody would come together in this one little group. And I was like, no, separate now.
Yeah, I like that. They're getting a little smarter.
Yeah, I've definitely been enjoying Spider-Man. The gadget and the special move loadout reminds me of how they did Hogwarts Legacy because it was kind of the same thing.
Yes.
Where you press R1 and then it's just the buttons match whatever spell that you're trying to do.
Well, The Witcher used to do a good job at that as well in The Witcher 3.
Yeah, I like how it's on both sides though, because on Hogwarts Legacy, it was like you have 3 different loadouts and you just have to scroll. You have to press R1, find the one you want,
fluid.
And then press the button.
It was real smooth.
Yeah.
If you had it teed up, yeah. I will say that one thing that is the same is like these people should have been CU. Like when in some of the buildings that you're doing these stealth missions in, like these people should have been seen. Like just look up and see things. They should have seen. You know, it's ridiculous how it takes so long for them to find you.
Exactly, because I was just thinking, I was like, I've been like perching up a lot of people and taking out a lot, and you guys are just still walking around here like it's still like 10 people in this room, and it's really only 2 of y'all.
But that's like with almost any stuff game, because you're right. It's like, come on now, you had your homeboy Polly over here and your homeboy Ronnie over here, and they gone, and you just walk around like, hey.
They just
must be quiet. I hope nobody's in here.
Must stop talking.
I hope nobody's in here.
He must have went to the bathroom.
like
everybody went to the bathroom.
All 10 of them went to that bathroom. Ain't y'all on guard duty?
Right. But it'll be funny, like where they'll be in the middle of a conversation and I'll zip them up and they'll say, wait, where'd he go? He was just right here. But it's like, if you should just look up. Like, why are we not going
Right.
like, where is he? You know, he's right above you.
Yeah.
Man.
I don't know, but I've been really enjoying it. My plan is to get back into it after this episode.
Same.
So we gonna.
I'm gonna give me some Wingstop and get back
going on.
into it.
He gotta get him some food
I ain't
first.
eat-
I
I
feel
ain't
you.
eat yet.
Yeah.
We gotta eat first, then we back
Terrible.
to it. But we got 4 little topics left. We're gonna run through these and then we're gonna shut everything down. So we got some business tech news. The Disney password crackdown starting November 1st in Canada. Also, separate, but Disney is raising its prices for Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. It's been in effect since October 12th. So if you have not been checking your bills, you should check your bills if you were not aware. TikTok is testing out a $4.99 a month ad-free subscription plan. Netflix is raising prices again. And Twitter, or X, whichever one you prefer, is testing a $1 charge per year for new signups.
Here's the thing, Christine. Here's the thing. In the past 2 episodes, we've said all of this. We already said after the SAG-AFTRA, all these streaming
It's
sites going to
really,
raise their prices. After Elon announced subscription fees, all the other ones going to announce. And Phoop was the first one who said the ones who really need to focus on it is TikTok, because they're the ones who are going to suffer. And guess what?
They got it. You gave them an idea. They listening. The only one I agree with is Netflix. Go ahead and raise your prices because you give you have a huge catalog. You've given us quality content. Yes, you've got some hits and misses, but that happens. You've been coming out with bangers and a lot of not just content, original content like for America, but international. Like I can watch hit shows from India or from Korea. I've been really diving into K-dramas lately.
Yeah.
England, you know, you've got all of your different countries that were Africa's got like there. Did you? What's the name of the show? There's like an African. Do you ever watch 24? Are y'all old enough for that? Y'all even know what 24 is?
Is that my dad used to watch that show?
Oh dear!
But
why you just call Christine old like that? That was so rude. That was rude.
That was so rude. I didn't mean to.
That was so rude.
Because my
grandpa,
my old granddad, great granddad watches that.
I didn't mean
with his dad.
I swear. But listen,
Christine, I wouldn't take that
because
not if I'm a guest.
She said Christine said 24, and all I saw was after my dad watching like Monday Night Football. It was like up next 24, and he would sit down
on Fox.
Watching. Yeah.
They have like a South African version with a female of it, but it's like Queen something is the name of the show. It's a really great show. So you're getting a lot more content. So Netflix raising its prices, it's feasible. Disney, you've been putting out trash. I don't want you to get any more money. And then
they just, from what I heard, Disney is going broke. They are losing money.
It's their fault.
It's their fault.
It is.
So
why you mad? You dropped this small content. You ain't listen to none of the fans. You ain't listen to nobody. No. I guess you called it trolling. I guess you said we just review bomb and use all these buzzwords and ain't reading out a single review on IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes or on YouTube.
A single.
Y'all let YouTube get rid of the dislike
now
button.
They're reading them because they're making these changes now. At least
they read them.
Hey, but they got all the way to Secret Invasion, which got the lowest of the lows, and started making changes.
This is what happens when YouTube gets rid of their dislike button counter. Them red lightsabers used to tell companies do better. Now they got rid of it. We need the dislike button back.
I have mixed feelings about the dislike button. I'll tell you that. I have because the way that people were just rating people. And doing that just to bomb, like instead of, because it became the thing, instead of giving critique, it was a huge ticket for trolls to just get together. What they were doing is they band together on Reddit and be like, hey, let's go troll raid this person or this other creator. And it was happening to a lot of Black creators. So I'm okay with the dislike button being hidden. I mean, it's still there, but
I feel like they could make some type of like rules or something, like maybe even for the like button. You can't like or dislike until you're like halfway through the video or something, and you got to leave a comment or something to make it more to force actual critique. You know what I mean? Maybe folks will
And
dislike it
engagement.
because like make it more efficient. You know what I mean? Especially since these companies try to get money off the creators anyway.
Yeah.
Because we've gotten away from legitimate non-political reviews and critiques of movies and shows and everything because everybody want to be politically correct or nice, and then it's the assholes who want to just be evil.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah,
there is a lot of them.
Like that middle
like
part
and
is missing.
like when you say that, it made me think of like what was that show? She-Hulk. I feel like it was difficult for legitimate complaints to be made about She-Hulk because you had the a-holes out there like, oh, what it's or MCU. Yeah, like really hate. Oh, we've got all these female and it's like you're mad just because she's a woman. I actually have actual complaints. I feel like there were issues with writing. There were issues with
exactly,
and it's makes it difficult.
But
those last ending episodes, I was kind of like, okay, sure,
but that's what's happened. We're missing like the accurate reviews because some of them are out there, but they just get overshadowed. Like Disney got a writing issue. It's not a female actor issue. It's just a writing issue.
Because I really liked the actress that they had for She-Hulk. It was just that some of the episodes were kind of like, okay, like that last episode really just drove the nail in the coffin.
That. A lot of people were like, oh my goodness, it's genius. I didn't like
and
that.
I watched and I was like, oh, where's the genius? Like I don't like I get it.
Where's
like
the genius?
somebody was trying to like I saw somebody trying to explain it and they was like, oh, She-Hulk does this in the comics all the time where she rips through the comic book page and yells at the writers. And I was like, okay, cool, but like this the way that they execute. If this is what they were going for, I don't like it. I didn't like it.
It goes back to that earlier point. Not everything from one media can transfer well to another media. You can't do one-on-one adaptations majority of the time. You got to modify something.
Yeah, and I know that they had went into She-Hulk knowing that they were going to get trolls and playing with the trolls. And it's like, I get that you wanted to do that. I just feel like when it came to some of the fandom stuff, you were kind of building up something. I don't like what they did to freaking Daredevil. It was disrespectful. Some of his action was cool, but it's like where they were going with him. Oh, he's a one-night stand. Like, let's do a little bit more. Let's show him the respect that he deserves. Okay, let's not just get 48 oysters and expect him to pay the bill. Like, let's
we gonna keep going back to.
Hey, that's the title of the episode: 48 oysters and 2 lemon drops. That's the episode like, right there.
But like
as the designer, I think that's too long.
48. We'll just say 48.
Ralph said to him, not 48 oysters.
Season 4 ended with 48 oysters.
I didn't like what they did with Abomination either.
Yeah.
And it goes back to my complaint of what they've been doing with Hulk since they put him in the MCU. Like 2008 Incredible Hulk. That man was scary.
That was fire.
That Hulk versus Abomination fight.
Fire.
Yeah, it was especially where he was like, "Oh, he took the juice, he's something," and Hulk was like, "Get out of here!" Donkey kicked him into that tree, and he like hit that tree.
Man,
I love that part.
That was before I knew what an MCU was, and that movie was fire.
That movie, yeah. Out of this list, TikTok need to chill out.
That's your fault.
$5.
You said that specifically.
I
named the prices in that episode, but you said TikTok specifically need to start charging. You said that. Take the blame.
I didn't say they needed to. I said I could see them.
It seems like they listen to you, Phoop.
The podcast is getting bigger than you expect. That's why Christine here. We catching the eyes. You need to be quiet.
Well,
you need to hush.
Well, listen to this. TikTok, chill out. Because I'm not paying $5 for y'all to remove some ads. And then they said they're not even going to remove all the ads. It's just going to be TikTok-specific ads.
I don't understand what that means. If we're on TikTok, which ads are TikTok-specific ads?
They said the description appears to only cover ads served by TikTok, not influencer marketing one-offs or campaigns.
Oh, so they're like... Oh, because when you said this originally, I thought this was because there's been a rise in ever since they had the TikTok shop. It's like everybody's doing like an ad for some type of product or what have you, which some people have been hating. I actually haven't been hating it because I want to know. I'm gonna watch all of y'all and see if this actually works and if I want to buy it. And I've bought a couple things from the TikTok shop.
I've
Just
bought
gonna say
so
it.
much from Instagram. I ain't mad at it.
Listen, do what you do. But I thought that maybe this was their answer to that by, okay, we're making this stack up. A lot of people are complaining. Now you pay $5, you're not going to see this. But apparently, what are we paying for? Because I don't see it. Do you guys see a lot of ads on TikTok? I don't see a lot of ads.
You can swipe through them instantly.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not like YouTube
But
where
look,
you're forced to watch a 30-second ad and can't skip it.
Or a whole
just
show.
scroll.
Now, I will say they might add that.
Where you can't skip it.
Shut up, Ralph. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Now it's Ralph. Look, now this X news about them tiers, that's Ralph's fault. Ralph specifically said that they were going to integrate a tier system. And when I was reading that article, they said however, according to recently discovered code, the company might introduce 3 premium tiers with one being fully ad-free. That's
y'all
Ralph.
The favorites.
Now, he said that specifically.
Y'all the favorites. They don't like me. Y'all the favorites.
Hey, Ralph be trying to talk. Ralph be trying to talk on the low like can't nobody hear him.
Yeah.
Now what?
Your mic works. Your mic works.
The mic is on. The mic is on.
First of all, Mama called him Twitter. I'ma call him Twitter. Okay, F this X business. All right.
Yeah.
Hello. This, which is just asinine. I feel like with Elon, and this has been a running theory in my household for a while, brought on by my husband, that he is doing this with the intention of bringing this down. He's purposefully making decisions to destroy Twitter and really take it down from the inside. Mind you, him buying it was off of a joke, and then he had to commit. He had to commit. He didn't. Then he was stuck with it, and then now to be in this situation of like, all right, well, let me get rid of this big, huge bill that I've got and really destroy it. But the problem is that these things that he's implementing in order to destroy Instagram is like, ooh, I like it. Let me make a verified thing. Now you've got TikTok. Ooh, I like it. Let's charge for ad subscription. Like,
but that's
too much.
But that's the thing. Yeah. I feel like he's purposely choosing to be the bad guy. I don't know what he wants to create. He said he want to make an all whatever app. And the thing is, because he's being the bad guy, everybody watches him. They see him do what they do, and they're going to say, ooh, that's a good idea, we taking it. That's a good idea, we doing that. Because Meta following through with everything. Meta is following through with everything they doing with Twitter. Everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm surprised TikTok got ahead of them.
If they start charging for you to basic use for like $1, because I mean, I imagine Twitter's just grandfathering people. Well, you know what? I take that back. I can't put nothing past him. He might be grandfathering people now, but it's probably going to be, he's been doing more and more suppression as far as your content. If you're not verified, he's been taking away more and more features. If you're not verified, to really try to goad people or guide people into paying some type of subscription in order to be on the platform. And it's getting to a point where my engagement is down. There was another creator, Chelova Gamer, was talking about this on Twitter as well, like how she just noticed a difference. It used to be good, and now engagement is like driven down. If you don't have that blue check mark, he actually was on an interview talking about how that stuff would be suppressed. It would be lowered down. And my issue is that if they're all going to do this, YouTube is still going to be free for you to use. For you to sign up, all you got to do, if you want to leave a comment or dislike or troll hate a video, it's still going to be free. YouTube's not going to change that.
Until they want to...
Ryan, no.
Stop. Until that YouTube Red... Until that YouTube Red that ain't been as successful gets bigger than it's already is. They already forcing ads down our throat, and now you can watch a 20-minute YouTube video with 3 ads in between, and the content creator pick where they want it and everything else. YouTube's on track.
They said they finna stop letting you skip them jobs.
YouTube is finna force YouTube Red down our throats because it ain't working that much. I'm being honest. It's all that's coming. Cause like Elon...
But I hear you, and I do feel like YouTube kind of has the Netflix you have so much content. That's how I watch TV. I watch. So I know you said about not promoting other things, but there's a creator that I love and enjoy. She's a Black woman that lives in Japan. I love her vlogs, love her vibe, and me and my daughter, like, that's how we start our day, by watching her vlogs. And so it's like, that's our content, watching it on TV. Although right now I'm taking a hiatus, just like you said, people spoiling about Spider-Man. I ain't on no YouTube unless it's Jonas Brothers interviews. I ain't watching nothing else.
Not Jonas Brothers interviews.
I ain't watching nothing else. I just want to see what Nick, Joe, and Kevin have been doing for the last 4 years. That's all I want to know.
Not mad at it.
I feel you. But no, YouTube had them free movies. Probably if they do what Ryan said, them free movies not finna be free no more. Like, free media is just not finna exist anymore because it's been taken charge. Like, we overthrew cable.
I think they'll keep it because it's free with ads. It's free with ads. So they still make money.
Okay, yeah.
I think they'll keep that.
But in real life, technically, that's not free. Your attention is not free, and so is your data. Technically.
But you're not... but we're not going by technical. We're not going by real math. We're going by...
I want to see the dollars that leave my bank account.
right. Not the whole, if I don't spend $30 here, but I spend it over there, I didn't spend no $30.
Yeah.
Which, side note, girl math, it's hilarious because I've always been doing girl math. I've always been doing girl lunches. I just didn't know that was what it was called, okay? So shout out to the people that found a name for it, because I'm a proud girl mather.
That whole trend was funny.
It was. But it was like a
It
realization. I was like, okay, yeah, I see it. That makes sense to me. If you don't spend it here, but you spend it there, you didn't spend it. Like, that makes sense to me.
If I pay for it in cash, but not off my debit card, I really didn't lose any money. Girl math.
Because it's all about that digital, Ryan. It's all about that diskless, okay? They don't know.
Not the diskless.
You gotta
They don't know.
That's why 48 oysters be getting bought nowadays. This is where it stems from.
Because she didn't. But she didn't really spend that money because she had cash on her. She didn't have
cash. That's why she always kept cash on her.
That's girl math.
$12. Mm-hmm.
Now that tip might have came out her debit card, which is why she only gave them folks 15.
That might be.
To my fellas out there, ask your girl what type of math she doing before you take her out.
Not what type of math.
Ask what type of math she doing. Talk to them, fellas. Be nice. Be a gentleman about it.
You're like, so what type of math are you doing?
What kind of math do you enjoy?
Tell me.
And if the answer is, what you mean, like girl math?
Be like, baby, what does 2 + 2 really equal? Well, if it's coming out of my bank account, it's not the same as when it's coming in cash.
No, it's not. It's not the same. It's not the same.
Oh, man. But did anybody else have anything else to say on our last 4 business topics?
F Twitter.
Honestly, please. They shouldn't have listened to me. They should not have listened to me.
I'm gonna be real.
Wait, apparently it's y'all's fault. Phoop and Ralph.
I will claim the TikTok thing, but the Twitter thing is Ralph.
I just talk smack to everybody because I said we can't get mad at Elon if y'all ain't using Threads. So that's all. I just talk smack.
I didn't mean for it to come into fruition. You
gotta take responsibility for your actions, Phoop.
I'll take responsibility.
Accountability.
That's the title.
That Twitter thing is Ralph, because Ralph specifically said, I can see them making 3 tiers.
Hot mess. What else are you guys gonna take from
now?
that?
Now Ryan got to take accountability for it because he did say a couple dollars. That might not be a couple, but that's $1.
It is $1. If you take it from a couple people, that's a couple dollars.
It's gonna go up.
I said I understood because I remember when he said he wants to build.
Don't try to walk it back now.
No. Because I remember when he said he wants to create a content creator economy. Because I remember the app lost all them ads, but I didn't know it was this deep. Because I know they lost hella advertisements once he bought Twitter. Because they was like, it's going to be a
buzzword.
But here's the thing. Yeah. He is paying them. These folks, you see these toxic tweets popping up, and then at the end of the month, these folks posted their Twitter checks. I was like, where's my Twitter check? Let me start talking about how much money you should spend on a first date. Let me start getting toxic. I want to join it.
Meta doing that too. Your friend Ryun on Facebook making all these.
I seen her. I seen it.
Interacting with posts talking about she get paid for
Look,
interaction.
I done seen
Wait,
it.
what happened? Wait, what is Meta doing?
Meta passing out
It's-
more checks now based on interactions, and she just got monetized.
On interactions on your,
Yeah.
you monetize your page, and you get paid for
I'm
interactions on
gonna
your
check
Facebook
my
posts.
Facebook page after this.
You probably qualify.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
You got to join the program.
I wonder if they grandfather people in.
I don't know, but now she dropping.
I don't know.
She be dropping Facebook posts. Shout out to her. She know who she is if she watched this episode.
Hey, she be having them folks go to bed on the Facebook post, and I said, "You get your money.
Look,
You get
That's
your
funny.
Yeah.
being honest, fellas, why would you take her to the oyster bar if you couldn't afford 48 oysters?
Hey.
Oh dear.
Look,
Oh man.
Thought they should have foreseen that she was gonna do 48 oysters and an entree and drinks.
not they saw the big back energy through a vision. It's like, oosh. You should have saw her power levels.
Man.
She's over 9,000.
So, nah.
Shit.
Hey, bro, in the episode.
Man.
Oh my goodness.
But if that's it, we're gonna go ahead and shut this down. First, I want to thank you, Christine, for joining us on this episode of the Blerd Podcast. It was great having you here, sharing your thoughts and opinions.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. And then one more time for the people watching and listening, if you want to let them know where they can find you after watching this lovely episode.
Yes, you can find me everywhere. Just open your window. I'm there. I have AyChristene. It's AyChristene, and it's ENE, not INE, because my mother's Jamaican. She wanted me to be different. So there's AyChristene for reactions. There's AyChristene Games for gaming. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. As long as they don't charge. When they start charging, you won't find me anywhere. I have AyChristene.com. Like Phoop mentioned, it's a directory for content creators to find freelancers and as far as editors, artists, graphic designers, all the things. We have actually, me and a couple people are working on putting more profiles on there. So you're going to see more freelancers available on the website that you can connect with and, use them for your next project. And we have where I met you guys, PartyChat Podcast, where right now it's in like a little transitioning hiatus like type of thing, but definitely come through, show us some love. That's where I met Phoop and Ryun, or physically seen them, I guess virtually seen them. So yeah, I think that's everything. Keep your eyes out. I've got something.
Well, definitely look in the description for whether you're listening or watching. We will have everything that Christine just mentioned in the description. So make sure you guys go check that out. Second thing, I do want to thank you both, Ryan and Ralph, for joining me on another episode of the Blerd Podcast. And third, I want to thank everybody who's been watching and listening. This is our longest episode, I think, ever. No,
don't
it's
apologize.
Fine,
that's a good thing.
Don't apologize.
It felt short. It was fun.
This was some really good conversation. I'm glad you were able to join us on our season finale in this episode. Shout out to everybody who stuck through the whole episode. If you had to pause, come back later, you had to take a bathroom break, it's all good. But thank you for watching and listening. It's truly appreciated. And with all that being said, I'm going to head it off to Ralph to lead us out.
All right, make sure you guys go and check out our donation link. It goes towards our equipment, software, keeping the lights on, make sure we bring you guys content each and every day. Thank you again, Christine, for coming in. This is my first time meeting, so hello. I hate I missed the episode. I wish I was in it, but anyway, as I was saying.
What was that?
Anyway.
What was that?
Ralph has to make sure. Ralph has to make sure he got his one-on-one with Christine before he
Yes.
Don't threaten me.
Legal bird, looking at
Make sure-
fish.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching and listening. Make sure you guys go check out our affiliate link, Entertainment Earth, where you can get Funko Pops. Hopefully, we'll be getting one soon from Right Stuff Again.
We gotta go check that out. We gotta go see what Crunchyroll talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but also make sure you guys go check out our socials. You can find us on Facebook and TikTok at the Blerd Mob Podcast. You go find us on Instagram, Threads, and Twitch at the Blerd Mob Pod. And make sure you guys go find us on Twitter or X at the Blerd Mob. And with that being said, we out. Peace.
What I was not expecting from this game was this game to make me a Melina fan.
Melina,
yeah.
Melina has a nice moveset.
She has a nice moveset.
And the moveset on top of her storyline, I was just like,